of angry fans.
Oh my God, I just got nauseous. I can't even think about that. That's not going to happen. We're not putting that into the universe.
But Christina, I thought I'd never say this. Bring in the
It takes time to ask questions and understand. Focus Today does just that. We give you an hour so you can understand better. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday, another primary day across America where who knows and who cares.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
One way of putting it.
Yeah.
On again, off again talks, shooting at each other during a ceasefire. Hey, welcome to Tuesdays.
Yeah.
It's a typical day in the neighborhood.
It's a wonderful world.
There we go. Good morning to you. Anyway, welcome to Mr. Bilden's neighborhood.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Where everybody's happy. And we on the little train going around going, yeah.
Yeah. Good Tuesday morning to you.
Good morning, Tuesday. Happy, lot going on. Change in the weather. Boy, we went from a cold front, we're going to a hot front.
Yeah, how about that?
Wow.
Oh, man.
I'll
tell you what.
What a switch, huh?
Yep.
All right, we got that going on. Good morning, buddy. What you got going on?
Call your doctor.
Call your doctor.
Yeah, it's National Call Your Doctor Day. Now, this is a reminder.
What do you call him?
For a doctor. a doctor. You ever call your doctor Doc?
Well, only during one procedure.
Oh.
Otherwise,
Hey, what time is it? 1 minute out of the blocks. Here we go. Oh, my goodness.
Otherwise, he's doctor.
This is the shot I look for every morning, man. Okay, whatever your malady is, call your doctor. We're going to leave it at that. Time to move on. I love that. That was good. National Forklift Safety Day.
You ever see those videos where they just try to do
these guys bump into a shelf and the whole warehouse tips over.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
And in fact, I've seen one where I had to go back and watch it again because the forklift driver was so buried. I thought, well, how's he going to get out of there? How are they going to get him out of there?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my goodness. So have you ever driven a forklift?
Yeah.
Hey, they're fun, man.
They are a hoot to drive.
Oh, my goodness. Don't make a mistake.
Don't make a mistake. Go
Yes.
slow and don't do any sharp turns.
Yeah, yes.
No, that's the problem.
Yep, good point. All right. It is also National Earl Day. Do you know any Earls?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yes.
All right. I don't.
Let's see. How many Earls do I know?
Yeah, Earl.
I know a last name Earl and a
Okay.
first name Earl.
Oh, Earl?
No. Two different people. One's in heaven.
Okay.
The other one probably should go.
It's like Daryl and my other brother
Daryl, yeah.
And our brother Earl.
Yeah.
And his other brother Earl. Okay. And it's also National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day.
Oh, one of my favorite
yes.
nights.
Did you know that the
Yes,
leaves
I
of
love
the
this pie.
rhubarb are toxic?
I love this
Me
pie.
too. The stalks, however, are a consumable, rich, and healthful source of oxalic acid. The benefits of enjoying rhubarb could help reduce blood pressure, increase your body's ability to burn fat.
Really?
And yes, and even generate brain myelin. Wow. Now, I don't know if we want brain myelin or
What
not,
does that
but
do?
it sounds good
Yeah,
at this
I
time
can
of the
think-
morning.
Yeah.
But look at that. It's got that crumbly crust on the top.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
topping.
my second favorite pie.
What's
My
your
first,
favorite?
Cherry.
Cherry, yeah.
But then this. I really like this. Yeah.
Rhubarb, you know, we all
Especially when
love-
it's tart.
Now, yeah. Now, I don't know if you grew up. Where I grew up, there was everybody had rhubarb growing, and we would go get rhubarb stalks as kids, and we would get a cup of sugar, dunk them in the sugar, and eat the rhubarb raw. It was wonderful. And finally, I don't know if this guy ate rhubarb or not. It's National Donald Duck Day. Oh, I love it. Do that again. You got that. Commemorating the birthday of the funny animated cartoon character known as Donald Duck. He was born on this day in 1934.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. How did you do that? Where did you learn that? All I can do is go, and I can't even get close. There's Donald. But
Well, if you ever duck hunt,
yeah. Oh, I have duck hunted.
okay, and
Yeah.
I've sat in the blind, you had to call the ducks in.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. See, I used to call. I can't do it with my anything else. But he is you know that he has appeared in more films than any other Disney character?
Really?
Yes.
More
He's
than
been-
Mickey Mouse?
More than Mickey. In fact, they said during World War II, he was way bigger than Mickey Mouse. When they were doing, war bond drives and stuff, they would always use Donald Duck, not Mickey, because the crowds really loved Donald Duck. He was a bigger star during the 30s and 40s than Mickey Mouse ever was.
Where'd Daffy Duck come in? That was...
Daffy Duck. I don't know.
Oh,
He
that was...
That's Mel Blanc, and that's what, Looney Tunes?
Yes, that's
Okay.
over on the other...
Yeah, that's his
not
that's his counterpart.
Yeah.
Yes, but in 2002, TV Guide declared Donald Duck one of the greatest 50 greatest cartoon characters of all time.
Yeah.
And his acting career has earned him Academy Awards and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Well,
Donald Duck.
gosh,
about
why
that?
couldn't we return to those innocents?
I know. I can't remember the last time I watched a Donald Duck cartoon, and we grew up on them. Oh, my
Wow.
goodness. And that's all I got. We're eating strawberry rhubarb pie,
Yeah.
watching Donald Duck, and calling our doctor. Good luck.
Well, there's a guy.
Good luck.
Here's a guy that is contributing to his doctor's 401k in a massive way.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, rainy and breezy from Vancouver down through Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with highs in the mid-60s with a west wind 11 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 25. Through the Willamette Valley, an early chance of rain and partly sunny skies this afternoon. Salem tops out near 66, with Albany and Corvallis in the mid-60s, and Eugene reaching near 67. Central Oregon starts with a slight chance of showers, then turns mostly sunny with highs reaching 65 in Prineville, 63 in Bend, and 59 in Sun River. A chance of showers in Boise, then mostly sunny and low 70s. Along the Oregon coast, Coos Bay sees a chance of rain, then mostly sunny skies with highs near 62. Gradual clearing from Port Orford near 59 through Brookings around 54 and Crescent City near 58. In southern Oregon, decreasing clouds with highs in the mid-70s for Grants Pass and Medford. Ashland reaches 72 with a slight chance of rain before turning sunny, while Klamath Falls stays mostly sunny with highs near 67. Into Northern California with sunny skies and a high near 77 in Wairika and upper 80s for Redding and Chico. Decreasing clouds in Fort Bragg, becoming sunny with a high near 57 and lows tonight in the upper 40s. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then sunny skies in Santa Rosa with a high near 83. Napa gradually becomes sunny with highs around 82. The same for San Francisco near 69 and San Jose reaching a high near 77. Sunny and nice for Central California with daytime highs in the upper 80s for Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto, through Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield with triple digits returning by Thursday. It's a snapshot of your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, we have a snapshot of the clouds breaking up, the sun poking through, and a beautiful shot.
Woo.
Just had the big door open, let some fresh air in here, so
Feels good.
pretty nice out there.
Yeah, well, time for some encouragement. Here we have Dr. Anthony George. He's looking at the importance of prayer and its ultimate purpose.
Time spent with Jesus is how our peace is found. I'm not saying every now and then you won't have to get a little medicine or counseling. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that every now and then you won't have to make some lifestyle adjustments and cut off some influences and detox your soul. I'm not saying there won't be other things that you need to do to de-stress. But I'm telling you, if you're saved and you know it, by the way, say amen. Nothing, I don't care what it is, a pill, a drink, a snort, a whiff, a yoga mat, a nature walk, nothing takes the place of being alone with Jesus. Nothing. That's what we need more than anything else. And here's the thing. Martha went into the living room and she said, Jesus fixed the problem. It's my sister. But what Jesus said is, without saying it, she ain't the problem. You are. And this is what is so amazing about the power of prayer. We often think that prayer is God's gift to us to manipulate him. We use prayer to get God to do what we want him to do. That's not the purpose of prayer. The purpose of prayer is we get the privilege of cooperating and being a part of what God is doing, but the number one goal of prayer is for him to get our hearts in alignment with himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a powerful message. Mm-hmm. Powerful message. Good stuff all the way around. All right, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. Let's take a look at some of the top stories at 10 minutes past the hour. First of all, apparently the president is telling Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, knock it off again, or you could be on your own. That was strong words.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he's saying we're days away from a deal. Now, let me ask you, with all due respect, how many times have we heard this?
Oh, boy, we've been down this track a lot, yeah.
So think about this.
Right.
The whole world knows what the president is saying. Mm-hmm. If the president says anything publicly, the whole world knows.
Yeah.
So if the president says to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, knock it off or you could be on your own. And the whole world sees this.
Okay.
And he's trying to put a deal together with Iran 2 days away.
Right.
How does Iran blow up the deal with somebody that they hate?
They attack him.
They attack him.
Yeah.
And force them to shoot
respond.
back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, and he could open the door for divide and conquer between the United States and Israel.
That's true. Yeah.
By letting the whole world know that he told Netanyahu to knock it off. And the intel for Iran said, well, there's an open door for us to get between the United States
It could happen, yeah.
and Israel.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this is all going, but it's serious business, okay? And it's kind of crazy out there.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The other thing is today is another primary day. Maine, North Dakota, Nevada, and South Carolina are all voting today. Most eyes will be on the craziness of Maine.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see where this goes. We have some stories on that a little bit later.
Okay.
Something happened over the last 24 hours. The Department of Justice has filed cases to denaturalize 17 legalized migrants after decades of widespread citizenship fraud in the nation's immigration system. In other words, we're going to decitizenship people from foreign countries if they break our rules.
Oh.
Now, let's see where this goes, but this could be unbelievable. There's move also in Congress, I don't know if it'll see the light of day, that non-born, American-born citizens can't serve in Congress.
Oh, what?
Yes. So people from other countries that have come in here and become citizens could be disqualified.
Who's floating that?
Some people, you know.
Oh. What do you think the future of that is? That would, I think that.
Well, there's some farm terms I can answer that with, but.
Okay, I get it. Yeah,
right,
thank you.
It ain't gonna go nowhere.
Okay, yeah, you're
right. All right. The big race is up in Maine. Plantner, who is this wild and crazy guy going for the Democratic nomination to go up against Susan Collins there in Maine. Here's the problem. Now, the guy is absolutely, his personal life is a mess. It's a complete train wreck. But it doesn't seem to matter.
No, not to Democrats.
He is doing very, very well. And the thing you need to understand about Maine is kind of like Oregon. Maine is a beautiful state being run by the radical left. Okay? They have seen 32 new or increased taxes over the last couple of years in Maine. And this guy not only is for all of that, he wants to take that mentality to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
His personal scandals are so numerous, you got to ask yourself, what in the world, why is he even standing there? Okay.
Yeah, right.
And there he is. He has a Nazi tattoo on his chest.
I think it proves a certain amount of things that we've all suspected about the Democrat Party. They throw all these accusations at Republicans, and namely, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And all the names that they throw at him are actually apply to this guy. But because he's a Democrat, they don't care.
Well, see, that's another thing here. It's showing the hypocrisy of the messaging on the left.
Yep.
But it looks like he's going to win the primary, and he'll be up against Susan Collins. There was one poll out yesterday. I don't know who it was, and quite frankly, I don't believe it. But it did show Plantner beating Collins by 1 point.
No kidding. Does Janet Mills come into the equation
Okay,
at all?
Janet Mills is the sitting governor,
Right.
and she is saying, go ahead and write my name in.
Oh, I thought she was still on the ballot, no?
I don't.
I think she suspended her campaign, but I think she was still on the ballot.
You could be right.
But I'm not sure.
She's an option.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
And she's reminding people that she's still available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, look, he is just plagued. I mean, this guy is really bad.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And I hope he finds Jesus.
Yeah.
Because it's the only answer to his spiraling out of control life.
Yes, but we have to keep it in context too, because he's been accused of sexting like over a dozen women, and that's not true. It's only about a half dozen.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. So the other race that's really interesting is the Los Angeles mayor's race continues to heat up, and it looks like the runoff now is going to be Karen Bass, who is the sitting mayor, be running against Nithya Raman.
So the choice is bad or worse?
Yes.
Yes.
And so the Pratt is way behind.
Yeah, he's out.
Okay, he's out. So here's the problem with Raman.
What?
Raman is a echo of Mondani.
Absolutely.
In fact,
yes.
Her policies, her socialist policies, and her Islamic radical system is so bad. You got pastors risking everything in Southern California preaching against her.
What is going on with the Democrat Party? Why are they rallying around these types of candidates?
Well, socialism.
Oh, my gosh.
And you got to understand that a radical Muslim, and I say this not to be controversial, it's just true. And the problem is when you're dealing with truth, people don't like it.
Yeah.
But they use socialism to advance what they really believe.
Right.
And that's what Mondani has done in New York. And it looks like Los Angeles could do this.
Oh, man.
This Ramagal is on the move. I heard a message by Jack Hibbs. He just flat got up in front of his church and connected all the dots of her engagement with all of the radical Islamic connections.
Oh, well.
And this is L.A., and L.A. is in such a mess. It is in such a mess. I don't know how they're going to pull, and I think you'll just see a continued evacuation.
Yeah, I think so, because you're going to get more of the same or worse.
Yeah, it's too bad.
That's it, yeah.
It's really sad. Yep. God help him.
Oh,
really.
yeah.
Sincerely, God help him. All right, those are some of the top stories on this. Well, hey, what do we have? Strawberry rhubarb Tuesday. Oh, gosh, didn't that sound good? With a scoop of ice cream?
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
All God's children of love and light, every heart will be unified, singing praise to the Lord our King.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Ministries on the Move spotlights how God is using everyday people and organizations to bring light, love, and transformation to others through inspiring conversations and real-life stories. Join me Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on the Dove TV.
All right, good morning to you. Well, did you watch any of the playoff last night, the NBA?
I did not. I saw a little bit of replay about the greeting that the president was given.
Well, he got thumbs up and thumbs down.
Yeah. Oh, and I knew he would.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in New York City.
He's in New York.
Yeah.
He's got those who love him and those who hate him. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And it was a yay boo thing.
Yeah, it was.
Knicks 2, Spurs 1. So what do you think?
Well, the Knicks are a tough team. Stephen Smith warned the president, if you show up, the Knicks are going to lose. And they did. Stephen Smith.
Really?
Yeah, Stephen Smith, who is a very kind of outspoken ESPN newscaster or commentator. Yeah. And he's actually floated the ideas. People have said, you know, you should think about running for president. And somebody asked Donald Trump about it last night. The president was asked about Stephen Smith and his comments about he shouldn't come to the next game. If he comes, they're going to lose. And that Stephen Smith had floated the idea of running for president. Donald Trump weighed in on that.
Yeah,
and said, well, you know, he's a low IQ individual.
Oh,
and
God.
to be president, you need a high IQ. So Stephen Smith probably is not going to make it. I'm just going, you know, this is just classic Trump. Yep.
Okay. Well, some other news. Now, I bring this story to you only because I have great appreciation how this one turned out.
All right.
But a small plane did an emergency landing on Highway 62 yesterday near Diamond Lake and landed safely.
No way.
That looked like a Cessna 182.
No way.
They had engine problems, and they had to land on Highway 62. Okay. That is a beautiful new Cessna 182.
It looks in good shape, too, doesn't it?
Oh, everything was fine. They actually pushed it off that road.
They pushed it over there.
They pushed it over there.
Oh, wow.
So it didn't crash. It landed safely, and the two got out, the pilot and the co-pilot got out, and everybody was fine. That is a beautiful Cessna 182. I'd give anything to have that airplane.
Do they have any inkling of what was going on? Why did this happen?
I haven't got the follow-up on it, but the only thing I can tell you is that everything went right, because whatever the problem was, they selected, you know, that long stretch up there, like.
Oh, yes, we all know that one. Yeah.
So they landed up there. Now, you don't do that unless you're in real trouble, but if you're flying over the mountains and the only thing you see is trees,
oh gosh,
you're looking for a road.
Oh, I bet.
Okay, or a field or a lake.
Yeah.
So they put it down on the highway. Wow. Fortunately, that's not a really heavy traveling road.
Right.
And they landed safely, and they just pushed it off the side of the road there. So we'll find out more about that.
So let me ask you this. When you got a plane sitting on the side of the road now, how do you retrieve it?
Well, now that's a good question. Okay, there's several things they can do. First of all, they need to find out what happened.
All right.
Okay, if they can fix it. It's possible they could take it off from up
That's
there.
what I was going to ask.
Or they have to take the wings off and haul it out of there.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
But it doesn't look like the plane was damaged at all.
Looks nice,
So kudos to the pilot. He did everything he was trained to do.
You made comments about landings you walk away from.
Any landing you walk away from is a good one. And if you can take your luggage with you, it was excellent.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The other story is, you know, we've been watching the stability of the university system in the state of Oregon, and our own backyard, Southern Oregon University, has just been plagued with all kinds of issues. I'm pleased to announce that President Rick Bailey there, he's the new president, just doing a marvelous job taking a really messy deal and squaring it away. They had to do $20 million worth of cut in order to get a $15 million grant. They're working on a cut of about a fifth of its $100 million a year budget to cut that out. So anyway, this is the big time of colleges when they're doing their graduation. This is the biggest event that colleges do. I mean, you know, you come up and now it's time to graduate the students.
Yeah.
So he announced yesterday, President Bailey emphasized that the Southern Oregon University remains stable and operational. So it looks like they're getting their troubles under control. And kudos to him, because he tackled this right. He's been very transparent. He inherited a mess, and he's fixing it the best way he knows how. You know what's really this is? This is a microcosm of how to fix a state.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can take a long look at this and say, all right, what are you going to do? You know. But this is if you could fix $100 million problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And cut it and still be solvent and move forward.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's what it is. All right, let's take a look at the satellite image out there this morning. And we have severe clear coming over the top of us. The system that's out there, as you're waking up this morning, you're seeing some beautiful clouds around the edge of the valley and up and down various parts of the Pacific Northwest. All of that is clearing away, and here comes the heat in the next couple of days. Get ready for that.
Yeah, boy, look out. Are you looking at upper 90s by Sunday, and maybe here in Southern Oregon, triple digits by Monday, maybe 100 degrees?
I know.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, we've been talking about the situation in Iran, you know, the conflict, and the fact that Iranians seem to be playing the long game.
Yep.
They're looking not only past the midterms, they're looking at the next presidential election cycle and beyond, because they know, guess what? In the United States, we're a little impatient. We have a short attention span, and they're kind of counting on that. Well, former Trump Deputy National Security Advisor K.T. McFarland says the Iranians are trying to wait out President Trump and urges Americans to have patience. She did this on Newsmax's America Right Now.
Just have some patience. I mean, we're in a situation now where the regime, and that's really the military guy, the IRGC, those are the guys with the guns. They think they can wait out President Trump because of the midterms. They think he'll blink. This is like a staring contest. They think he'll blink first because he's so worried about the midterm results. He looks at Iran and the regime and says, look, they're going to blink first because they're in absolutely dire economic straits. So they have their currencies collapsing. Their inflation rate is over 100% for basic foodstuffs. They have no income coming into the government. They have all their oil sales have been stopped and halted. All their foreign assets have been seized, their foreign bank accounts. The cryptocurrencies, which is how they've been moving money, that dried up about a week ago. We froze all of that. So they're not paying their people. They have millions unemployed. They're not paying their military. So it's going to crack. Now, how is it going to crack? We're not quite sure. Maybe it cracks because the guys with the guns decide, okay, we'll make some kind of a deal. Maybe what happens is that the so-called moderates, and there are no moderates in Iran, they're nuts and nuttier, and the moderates in Iran could make common cause with the Iranian army, which President Trump has left untouched. He's killed the IRGC military, but it's the army that predates the revolution. They're still intact. So maybe they make some kind of common cause. But Trump's got some time, not much time, but he's got time, and he probably has a lot more time than they do. They're not going to, they can't survive for much longer.
That's interesting. So who's got more time?
Well, we do, because they've been knocked down so hard. And timing is everything. You know, I was thinking the other day, the president is also working with the surrounding countries of Iran. Some are friendly, some are not.
Right.
And so that's part of the equation. I think he's pretty much given up on NATO and anything coming out of the EU. They're just over there being, you know, really kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But so he's probably working all this together. I've often wondered, do you let the leaders that have already transferred billions of dollars out of the country, do you give them a flight out?
That's a big question, yeah.
And do you give the military leaders a flight out? Before we kill you, maybe we'll help you get out of town, and that weakens everything else.
Yeah, I say, give them a flight out, let them go.
But where do they go?
Who knows?
You got to go to another country that would take them.
Right. Well,
it had to be a like-minded country.
Well, they're in cahoots with what's his name in North Korea. They're in.
Oh, they could go over there. They could. But you know, are there mosques in North Korea? Are there mosques in China?
Think so. Oh gosh, these are great questions.
Okay,
man.
you don't see any mosque in North Korea, or, you know.
You are right. Yeah, and who would want to live in North Korea anyway?
Yeah.
Oh my, except Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Because he gets all the luxury and everybody else lives poverty.
Yeah. So, do you see any Christian churches inside these Islamic countries?
No.
Do you see any Jewish synagogues inside these?
No.
No, but you see minarets inside Israel.
Oh, totally.
And inside the United Kingdom.
Right.
I mean, you know, this thing is backwards.
It is.
But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You know. There it is. There's that thing again. We need something. We got to come up with that We'll see what happens.
See what happens, yeah. There's the sign.
All right, we'll do that as we check out strawberry rhubarb crunchy pie with a scoop of vanilla bean ice cream on top.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a touch.
Put your gold in an envelope, mail it. Hopefully you get a check. Nah. Father and son jewelry, bring your gold in. We weigh it, we check it, we make you the offer.
Or turn you something old into something new. Whether it's an idea, a picture, or a piece you want to duplicate, we can melt it down and make it for you.
If you find your perfect piece in store, trade your something old for something new, and you always get a little extra.
Visit Father and Son Jewelry, 5 generations of family in Medford. Do events in the world leave you confused and scratching your head? A world where up is down and down is up.
I'm Perry Atkinson. Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out.
And I'm Jerry Bilden. Mornings on the Dove alerts you to issues and events the mainstream media would rather you not know or know the truth.
A lot in the news today, some movement around in the Middle East, common sense discussions on today's headlines, and rational perspective on what's really going on.
That will leave you better informed and encouraged by the gospel.
In this upside-down world, there's one place you can trust to get it straight.
Check into Mornings on the Dove each day to find out what's really going on and to be encouraged.
Mornings on the Dove, weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. on the Dove TV and radio. Streaming online at thedove.us, Roku, and Apple TV. The Dove, encouraging and informative.
This week on the John Ankerberg Show, we'll talk about the brave people that are bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to their people using audio Bibles.
God is working through these audio Bibles. People hear the Word of God, and God the Holy Spirit uses that Word to pierce their heart. I am impressed with how powerful the Word of God is.
Join me for the John Ankerberg Show right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
Okay, welcome back. 29 minutes before the top of the hour. If you're in a war area and you get shot at, you just say nothing?
Well, first you duck.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you say nothing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, in the meantime, Israel has carried out some more strikes against Hezbollah and inside Beirut, took out some bridges and things like that. That really upset the president. But in the meantime, you know, they're getting shot at. What do? You can't catch the bullets coming in to stop them, you know. Anyway, so let's check in with CBN News. They have an update on that exchange.
Amid international outcry, the IDF has carried out more strikes against Hezbollah in Beirut. Well, IDF Major Elliot Chodoff joins us now. My friend, why is Israel striking the capital of Lebanon?
It's nominally striking the capital. It's actually striking Hezbollah targets in the Hezbollah stronghold complex of neighborhoods collectively called the Dakhya. And in this particular case, it's more a symbolic strike than a real one. What was hit the other day was an unmanned headquarters of Hezbollah in the Dakhya, but as a message, stop firing rockets and sending drones against our civilian population in northern Israel. The old equation, which Israel tried to make work for decades and failed, of the tit for tat, you fire at us, we'll fire something similar back at you, is passé. It doesn't work. It never worked. But we kidded ourselves that it was working. And now we're at a point of saying, if you're going to shoot at our civilians, we're going to hit you where it hurts. And where it hurts is your headquarters, your strongholds in Beirut and in other places, in the Bekaa Valley, and in other places in Lebanon, and not allow you to determine the terms of the tit for tat. we're going to create the equation, not simply submit to yours.
Well, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just put out a statement today. He said, quote, over the past day, Iran and Hezbollah tried to impose a new equation on us, exactly like you were saying. That equation is intolerable and completely unacceptable to me. They thought they could launch attacks from Lebanon and Iran against Israel and that we would not act. That did not happen, and it will not happen, not on my watch. So from the outsider's perspective, again, 30,000-foot perspective, it sort of looks like every time that Hezbollah or Iran does something, it forces Israel's hand, and then the international pressure, the international coverage paints Israel in a very negative light. So what's stopping Hezbollah from just continuing this if what the world sees, I mean, again, 30,000-foot perspective, you just look at the headlines, Israel bombs Beirut. And it kind of wearies out the casual international viewer. So is it in a way striking Hezbollah and Beirut playing into their hands?
It's all playing into their hands. You have to start from the very beginning, the core, the base, which is that Hezbollah's raison d'etre, the reason it exists, is to destroy Israel. And everything it does along the way is a maneuver of one type or another to cause damage to Israel, whether physically by rockets and bombs and attacks, or internationally by what you just talked about, and a world that says, well, when Hezbollah, there was a New York Times headline the other day, Hezbollah fires rockets at Israel and Israel escalates. Excuse me? How about the firing of the rockets started the process and Israel responded? But no, that's not how the world would like to see it. Any response by Israel is considered to be an escalation. The world would very much like an Israel that says, well, you know what, a few rockets here, a few rockets there, a couple of dead people here, some kids being injured there. Yeah, we can live with that. No, those days are over. And Hezbollah is now somewhat caught, and they're maneuvering. And I think it's very important for all of us to understand Hezbollah and Iran are not stupid. They understand strategy. They understand global geostrategy. They are both physically severely weakened from the operations of the past couple of years. And now they are finding every possible crease in the system, including Western media, including public opinion, including President Trump's desire to make some comprehensive deal with Iran, to do whatever they possibly can to cause harm and damage to Israel, in the hope that an Israeli response brings exactly what you were talking about, and that is world condemnation. Because after all, why can't the Israelis simply take it and shut up?
Well, okay, so the poke is there, and my biggest concern is that you can't allow Israel to sit there and just take it.
Yeah, right.
And the comments of the president over the last couple of days, in light of his whatever he's got going as a deal, and we've heard about this deal so long we don't even know if there really is one on the table.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but we're close to a deal. We've heard this for 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. But if Israel's going to get shot at and people are going to die, you're going to sit there and take it? I just don't think so.
I don't either.
So, all right, let's check out the weather with Mr. Rhubarb himself.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, rainy and breezy from Vancouver down through Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with highs in the mid-60s with a west wind 11 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 25. Through the Willamette Valley, an early chance of rain and partly sunny skies this afternoon. Salem tops out near 66, with Albany and Corvallis in the mid-60s, and Eugene reaching near 67. Central Oregon starts with a slight chance of showers, then turns mostly sunny with highs reaching 65 in Prineville, 63 in Bend, and 59 in Sun River. A chance of showers in Boise, then mostly sunny and low 70s. Along the Oregon coast, Coos Bay sees a chance of rain, then mostly sunny skies with highs near 62. Gradual clearing from Port Orford near 59 through Brookings around 54 and Crescent City near 58. In southern Oregon, decreasing clouds with highs in the mid-70s for Grants Pass and Medford. Ashland reaches 72 with a slight chance of rain before turning sunny, while Klamath Falls stays mostly sunny with highs near 67. Into Northern California with sunny skies and a high near 77 in Wairika and upper 80s for Redding and Chico. Decreasing clouds in Fort Bragg, becoming sunny with a high near 57 and lows tonight in the upper 40s. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then sunny skies in Santa Rosa with a high near 83. Napa gradually becomes sunny with highs around 82. The same for San Francisco near 69 and San Jose reaching a high near 77. Sunny and nice for Central California with daytime highs in the upper 80s for Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto through Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield with triple digits returning by Thursday. It's a snapshot of your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Oh, yeah, look back on this June the 9th, all the way back to 1973, and especially with in mind the performance at the most recent Kentucky Derby.
Oh.
We were all amazed at what happened there. Well, nothing like this one. In 1973, horse racing fans witnessed one of the greatest athletic performances ever.
Racehorse Secretariat stormed into the Belmont Stakes having already won the Kentucky Derby and Preakness. What happened next was nothing short of astonishing. With jockey Ron Turcotte aboard, the big chestnut colt didn't just win the race, he dominated it. Secretariat crossed the finish line 31 lengths ahead of the field, capturing the Triple Crown and ending a 25-year drought since Citation accomplished the feat in 1948. Even more remarkable, he completed the mile-and-a-half race in only 2 minutes and 24 seconds, a track and world record that still stands today. Nicknamed Big Red, Secretariat became an American sports icon, and many racing experts still consider his Belmont Stakes run the greatest horse race ever. More than 50 years later, his breathtaking victory remains the gold standard in thoroughbred racing.
Secretariat, I mean, what an amazing... Now, there's a great film about Secretariat.
Yeah.
If you have a chance to see that, by all means, it's wonderful.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
And a great horse, and I don't know if we'll ever see that again.
No, I don't think so. There are a lot of children and grandchildren of Secretariat running around out there now.
Yeah.
But I don't think there'll ever be another Secretariat.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You know, aviation being what it is, and I love aviation, all things aviation, supersonic airplanes.
Oh, yeah.
Does the military have secret supersonics flying around out there? Does the military have secret drones flying around out there? Does NASA have some secret stuff flying around out there?
Those are good questions. Yeah, I think so.
Well, the X-59, or better known as the QSST, which is an American experimental supersonic aircraft under development.
Oh.
So anyway, and Lockheed Martin, which is, one of the great...
It is the defense contractor of America.
There it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a little bit of story and an update on the X-59.
Went to bed relatively early, fell asleep, maybe got up once in the night, and then the alarm went off and it was time to get going. I really wasn't nervous about the airplane itself. All the testing you had gone through, the people that had built it, and all the tweaks that we had to do, over those years, that when we went through the testing, it really gave you the confidence. I wasn't losing any sleep the night before because I knew we had a good airplane and I knew we had a great team. The nose came up and needed to come up some more because now it's getting too fast, so I had to bring the nose up even more. I think the controller room even gave me a shout out and said check speed, and then got the airspeed to come back down again. I remember thinking, ooh, this thing's a rocket ship. And we were at 12,000 feet like that.
That's good. That's good. It's very stable.
Control copy, standing by for flutter on 11, 12, and 14.
So a lot of people have asked me how did the airplane compare to the sim? And I think even during the flight, I think I even said flies a lot like the sim. But just what you want in the first flight, you know, exciting but uneventful. Pulling off the runway, I think was probably had a minute to pause and realize it kind of almost like it's over. I'm really excited to see when we finally get to the design point, get some microphones out there and actually record the thump. We know Lockheed can build an airplane and, you know, make it fly. Can we build that airplane, make it fly, and turn that sonic boom into a thump? That'll be a really cool day.
So,
turning the sonic boom into a thump, they're trying to designature it?
They're trying to break the sound barrier so fast that it's a thump and not a boom.
Oh.
Now, I have no idea how that works.
Yeah.
You know, scientifically. But it's quite a machine, and the question is, what is the purpose of this machine?
Yeah.
What do they want it to do? Is this going to be surveillance? Is it going to be is it going to? Is it replacing the U-2?
Yeah. Well, the U-2 or the Blackbird.
Or the Blackbird.
Yeah. Because Blackbird, that's like ancient history now.
It is. So this thing is a really sleek-looking thing.
Yes, indeed.
The way it goes. But have you ever noticed on the first flight they never retract the gear?
Why is that?
They never retract the gear, maybe on the first 2 or 3 or 4 flights.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're testing other things and they can't afford to have that gear not come down.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So they build that drag factor into the consideration so that when the gear's down, it does create a little bit of a drag. And then the other thing is you got to make sure that you don't go past the speed where it damages the gear.
Oh, sure.
So you can go too fast so it's a combination of things, but they want to make sure you got millions and millions and millions of dollars invested in this thing. You got to want to make sure you get it back down on the ground.
Are they flying that down at Area 51?
No, in Palmdale.
That was
Yeah. I remember flying through Palmdale because we did a job down there when I was first a corporate pilot, and we'd fly down through the Palmdale, and you had to get clearance through that area. And if they were busy, you had to fly around. You couldn't. Go through the airspace. Yeah.
All right.
So, but if they weren't doing anything, they'd let you fly through the airspace, and I think I had to stay above 10,000 feet or something like that.
Did you ever try fly through Area 51?
There's 2 places I don't want to fly through: Area 51 and the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah. Why? Why would I want to do this?
I don't know, because it's there.
Just the thought of it gives me sweaty palms. I don't want to do that.
I've been hearing all about Area 51 in a podcast that I'm doing, and it's about Lockheed Martin, of all people, But anyway, that's an interesting plane, and I think you hit it on the nose. What is it being developed for?
I can't help but think this is going to be a high-level supersonic surveillance aircraft.
All right.
Okay. I mean, but satellites being what they are, do we really need these things?
I don't think so. And in fact, in this little podcast I've been listening to, they talked about U-2 and the Blackbird, and we already had the capability of satellite photography down to like 4 feet.
Yeah.
And so they didn't even need those.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago. Yeah.
So I don't know. It could be we do this because we can.
Yeah.
You know, but it's sleek looking. They got something in mind. In mind.
Yeah.
So we just don't know what it is. But if you fly down through that area, it's pretty fabulous stuff. But and a lot of airspace down there. You know, but. No, it's kind of cool. I'd like to see it up close, you know.
Yes, indeed.
You know?
Oh, man.
And to lift it off the ground, and it's a matter of thrust and weight and balance and speed.
I got another question here. It leads me to wonder, why are they showing us this?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. Maybe because it's been exposed so much that they want to take away the mystery of it.
I wonder.
Because a lot of these things are flying around out there, and you see bits and pieces of it, and it creates all of this conspiracy stuff.
Yeah. Well, we get all these UFO reports, don't we?
Well, the UFO thing is coming at folks. Let me just say this: I'm slowly becoming convinced that this UFO thing is going to be used as a left for one reason.
What?
To destroy your faith.
How?
Because there's another creation, there's another universe, there's another group of something out there that's smarter than us. And where does that leave you with your relationship with God? And why would God, who is the creator of all things, have that out there to come in and torment us? I mean, it will rock your faith, okay? Here's the problem. None of this stuff can be physically proven.
Well, that's just a minor little...
A little problem.
Yeah, just a minor problem.
Just a minor problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right.
So anyway, we don't need a UFO to find a strawberry rhubarb pie.
Phone home.
But we may need a stealth drone to go steal us one. We'll be right back.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
Jerry's Historical Archives. Moments to remember. Go back in time. Back in the day. TV shows of the past. Relive the past and learn something new. Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV. The Dove is shining with a brand new show, Season to Shine.
I'm Melinda Robertson, host of Season to Shine, a new heartfelt, inspiring program for women designed to bring encouragement, wisdom, and hope into your everyday life. We'll help you discover God's purpose in every season, empowering you to shine with confidence, faith, and joy. It's your season to shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 p.m. on the Dove TV. More at thedove.us.
All right, welcome back at 8 minutes before the hour. So California has been given 37 days to finalize its vote.
Okay, only 30? What? How many days?
Let me ask you this. I mean, this sounds okay.
To get over a month? Wait a minute.
A little question. Does it really take a little over a month to count all of these? When you've got countries that can do it within days.
Yeah.
You got Florida that can do it within days.
You have countries that can do it the same day.
Okay.
Yes.
So something's really wrong with California, and it just reeks with fraud. So I had Eric Eggers on. He's with the Government Accountability Institute. And I said, what's the deal? And it just reeks with fraud. I mean, how else can you look at this?
Yes. Yeah.
And here's what he had to say.
I think the system that they have in California is exactly how they want it to be, right? I mean, there has been one-party rule in that state for 2 decades. So any efforts to, improve things have been blocked. The people have designed it who are in charge for exactly how they want it to be. Chad Bianco, who was one of the candidates for governor, as a Riverside sheriff, tried to seize a bunch of ballots after a ballot initiative because they were hearing reports about discrepancies of over 40,000 votes worth. And they were actually stopped by any number of authorities in California, including the court system. So any effort that's been made to try to improve it has been stopped. including, by the way, the federal government. The Department of Justice has said, listen, California, we would love to look at your voter rolls. We would love to inspect them to ensure that there is accuracy, and we want to know exactly what steps you're taking to remove people from the rolls who shouldn't be there. And instead of California saying, okay, of course, we're all invested in having fair and free elections, they said, no, we don't think so. We would prefer you not to make sure that our voter rolls are accurate. It's insane. When you don't require ID to register to vote, I know there's an initiative actually in Washington State where they want to require people to provide citizenship when you actually get registered to vote, because they know when you mail somebody a ballot, there's like literally no process that can be put in place because you don't have an election official actually touching a voter in terms of registration. You've got paid ballot harvesters. By the way, Perry, it's not an accident, I think, that Tom Steyer, who has invested heavily in his group called Next Gen America, which is wholly focused on turning out the vote and kind of like voter outreach stuff, is seeing a surge in terms of these late ballots because he's invested in this ballot harvesting infrastructure. And it's potentially that same ballot harvesting infrastructure that the candidate for LA mayor, Nithya Raman, who's surging as well, is taking advantage of. It doesn't mean it's illegal, but I think most people would say it's wrong. The fact that it isn't illegal makes it even more wrong.
Yeah, the ballot harvesting issue is something that nobody really talks about, but the Democrats are really good at it.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do you do? How do you counter something like that?
Well, it's real simple. It's called the SAFE Act. And the SAFE Act now is stuck in the U.S. Senate because 5 Republicans are voting against it, because attached to the SAFE Act is funding for DHS. So it's real simple. Senator Thune, if you were serious about being the majority leader, you put the SAFE Act on the floor as a single vote on itself. Okay? Why is our own U.S. Congress, Senate, who's controlled by the Republicans, can't get the SAFE Act on the floor for a vote?
Well, one of those is up for re-election, and Plattner's right in the scene there as Susan Collins. How do you expect that to turn out?
We had 800,000 illegal registered people in the state of Oregon, and the Secretary of State recognized it and said he'd take care of it. Have we heard anything since?
Not one thing.
Right. So it's all lip service.
Right. Yeah.
We got some great people coming up for us a little bit later, so stick around. But take with you today Romans chapter 5, verse 8. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Wow, think about that.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Your sweet tooth just became a force for good. The Salvation Army's Taste Good, Do Good Challenge is on June 5th through the 30th. And local bakeries, restaurants, and shops are serving up exclusive treats you can only get during the challenge. Hit different spots, collect punches, and vote for the best bite in town. And every delicious stop helps support local kids and veterans right here in our community. Start your adventure at tastegooddogood.net.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
He's got the whole world in his hands, and he knows the plans for us. Above and beyond we could ask or imagine. His grace is more than enough. It's in his hands. It's in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Come on, Steve.
Find answers to life's biggest questions with pastor and author Bayless Conley, Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
All right, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. Yes, this is the day where we have some more primaries in the world out there, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know, let's see, I think I wrote that down. You got Maine is going to be the big one.
Yep.
North Dakota, Nevada, and South Carolina all have their primaries today. Mm-hmm. We're in a cease-firing condition. We're just hours and days away from a deal.
So is the ceasefire still on?
Well, it's, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. What, fuel prices going up or down?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're really in an interesting state with the Middle East. We have a lot of update on that. We'll tell you about it a little bit later on. But those are what's happening. The big one is the big primary in Maine today. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So we're in that season. Season-wise, we are coming off of cold, wet, going into hot, dry. Mm-hmm. So get ready for that. So.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, it's not going to take long for the change to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. So what do we got today?
Well, first of all, call your doctor. It is National Call Your Doctor Day, a reminder for young women to schedule their annual Well Woman exam. But, you know, guys, I think we're less likely to call our doctor, aren't we?
Yeah, we're macho.
Yeah, we're tough dudes, you know. We take care of this ourselves.
We usually get there too late.
Yeah. Yes. You should have been here yesterday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we usually call them when it's too late.
So let this be a reminder to all. If there's something that's, bothering you and if you're not quite sure of, call your doctor. It is that day.
You know you're old when all the names in your little black book are doctors.
Look at my call history. It's a sad thing right now. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. It's also National Forklift Safety Day. Talk about Call Your Doctor Day.
Oh, boy.
I've seen some forklift fails on YouTube that are unbelievable.
It's just a matter of gravity. I don't understand some of these guys.
I know. And you know what it is? I think it's like anything else. You do something long enough and you start doing a little quicker, a little more careless. I can cut corners. And then all of a sudden with the forklift, you got stuff above you and it's coming down.
Yeah.
Look out, because they're in cages for a reason there.
Well, or you bump something and everything comes down.
And that's what we've seen is warehouse forklift activity that takes half the warehouse out.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So
be careful.
How about driving a forklift?
Oh, I think they're a hoot to drive.
Yeah, really? Yes.
Yeah, they're a hoot to drive. And most of them now are propane, they're clean air.
Yes,
so they're gas going around.
Or
electric.
Or electric.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah. And oh man, they are fun to drive, but you got to be careful. You got to know how to do it. It's worth training for.
Or you put a set of forklift forks on the front of your bucket of your Kubota tractor.
Oh, I would do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that.
Oh, yeah.
So you take the Kubota tractor down here with Central Equipment. These guys down here are great. But you can buy forklifts that kind of screw onto your bucket, and then your bucket becomes a forklift.
All right. You know what we used to do? When I was in college, I used to work for an agricultural company in San Joaquin Valley, and we used to go. I used to service the equipment in fruit and vegetable packing houses, and we used to take the solutions that they would wash the fruit in and coat it, and they would be come in 55-gallon drums, and there was like a rib in 2 places down there. And if we needed one in a hurry to get it there, we wouldn't put it on a pallet. You just get your forklift at a certain width, and you go and you get it underneath those ridges, and you'd pick that barrel up by itself.
Oh, you got to balance it.
Oh, you had to be careful, and you had to go slow because you had to get in the back of your pickup because you had to get it to that packing house because they needed it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so if you're driving a forklift, be safe today.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, my goodness, what a topic. National Earl Day. Honoring all those legends named Earl. And you know Earls, right?
I know a first name Earl and a last name Earl.
Why is nobody naming their babies Earls anymore?
That's a good question.
Huh?
Is it an old name?
I don't know. It must be, you know.
Is it a short name for something else?
I don't know. I remember Earl the Pearl Monroe. He played in the NBA. Of course, there's the Duke of Earl. Duke of Earl.
Oh.
Duke of Earl.
You would remember.
Yes. That's all I know. I don't have any Earls. So also National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day. It's all we got to eat. What else do we need?
Nothing.
That's right.
That's my second most favorite pie.
Look at it. It is wonderful. Now, rhubarb leaves are toxic to humans, but the stalks are consumable, and they are rich in a healthful source of oxalic acid. And the benefits of enjoying rhubarb could help you reduce blood pressure, increase your body's ability to burn fat, and generate brain myelin. Do you want some more brain myelin flowing through your head?
But it sounds good. If it could help me remember things I wanted.
I don't know what. It sounds good. Give me some.
Yeah, I want some.
All right, but I'll take the rhubarb pie. Ooh. That's enough in
Especially
itself.
if it's just a tad on the tart side.
Yeah. How about the crust? Now, we've seen a couple different kinds of crust. We got that traditional cross-top crust, you know, and then the crumbly crust.
Yeah. So cherry's my first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But strawberry rhubarb, oh, my stuff.
Oh, that's wonderful. I wonder if they have it at the Big C. I don't think they do that, do they?
Well, I think they do.
Do they?
When it's in season, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good enough. Well, and one last thing. It is a birthday today. It is National Donald Duck Day because it is his birthday. He appeared in his first movie on this day in 1934, and he has graced screen and print, and he is in our studio this morning. He has appeared in over 190 films and countless comic strips and books, more than any other Disney character. In fact, that's you. He has appeared in more. You used to do that around my youngest, Pete. He used to love that. He's like, how's he do that, Dad? How's he? I don't know. TV Guide declared Donald Duck one of the greatest 50 cartoon characters of all time, and his acting career has earned him an Academy Awards and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and we have him with us in studio.
I'm a star.
That is right on. I know if my grandkids are watching right now, they appreciate it because Donald Duck is in studio.
Okay.
It's his day. Enjoy.
All right.
All right.
Here's Donald's wild, crazy cousin, Daffy.
Yeah.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, rainy and breezy from Vancouver down through Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with highs in the mid-60s with a west wind 11 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 25. Through the Willamette Valley, an early chance of rain and partly sunny skies this afternoon. Salem tops out near 66, with Albany and Corvallis in the mid-60s, and Eugene reaching near 67. Central Oregon starts with a slight chance of showers, then turns mostly sunny with highs reaching 65 in Prineville, 63 in Bend, and 59 in Sun River. A chance of showers in Boise, then mostly sunny and low 70s. Along the Oregon coast, Coos Bay sees a chance of rain, then mostly sunny skies with highs near 62. Gradual clearing from Port Orford near 59 through Brookings around 54 and Crescent City near 58. In southern Oregon, decreasing clouds with highs in the mid-70s for Grants Pass and Medford. Ashland reaches 72 with a slight chance of rain before turning sunny, while Klamath Falls stays mostly sunny with highs near 67. Into Northern California with sunny skies and a high near 77 in Wairika and upper 80s for Redding and Chico. Decreasing clouds in Fort Bragg, becoming sunny with a high near 57 and lows tonight in the upper 40s. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then sunny skies in Santa Rosa with a high near 83. Napa gradually becomes sunny with highs around 82. The same for San Francisco near 69 and San Jose reaching a high near 77. Sunny and nice for Central California with daytime highs in the upper 80s for Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto, through Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield with triple digits returning by Thursday. It's a snapshot of your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful shot of our valley. We have some clouds floating around, still left over from yesterday, but breaking up. It looks very nice.
Yeah, definitely breaking up. Some clearing going on today to get your car washed.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been messy. It's been really bad. So your car might be a little dirty and you might be in line today. So anyway, give me a wave. Time for a little bit of encouragement. Here we have Dr. Anthony George looking at what Jesus said to Martha.
I don't even want to tell you how many times I've gone to God praying that He fix somebody. And Lord, she's this and she's that, and Lord, he's done this and said this, and Lord, they've said blah, 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 blah. And God says, they're not the problem. We're going to deal with you. We're going to do, me? Me, little old me? Yeah, you. Because you see, that's what God does in prayer. God uses prayer to bring us into alignment and into submission and into abandonment and into yieldedness to Him. We're trying to get Him to fix all the other problems, and He says, I'm working on you. I'm working on you. And I want to go on record by saying today, I am my biggest problem. You remember the old spiritual song? It's not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. We want to point at everybody else and say they're the problem. And God says, but I want to deal with you. I can handle them, but first things first. And in verse 41, Jesus answered and said, Martha, Martha, you're worried and troubled about many things, but one thing is needed. Would you say that out loud with me? One thing is needed. One more time. One thing is. And your sister Mary has chosen that good part which will not be taken away from her. He says, Martha, you're troubled about many things, but how many things are needed? One. You're stressed out over many things, but what's needed? One thing. One thing is needed. And that one thing is time at the feet of Jesus.
Wow. Wow, he's good. Man, oh man.
Oh, gosh, he's great. All right, good morning to you. 11 minutes now past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. And, of course, today is a primary day in several states, Maine being perhaps the one that's going to get most of the attention. There are some other states, North Dakota, Nevada, and South Carolina are all doing their primaries today. But the main one is in Maine, dealing with the Democratic nominee for the position there to run as a U.S. Senator. This Mr. Plantner, plagued with all kinds of problems. We'll talk about that coming up. So we'll keep you set. In the meantime, it's on again, off again. We are days away from a very powerful deal, according to the president. And I want to be respectful here, but man, we've heard this so much. Where's the deal? In the meantime, Hezbollah has been firing at Israel, and Israel's been firing back, and the president gets mad at Netanyahu, said knock it off, and all this stuff is going on. So we'll update the Middle East with you with CBN News coming up. But same headlines that we've seen now for
over and over again. Yes. Yeah.
All right. The other thing is that there's a story out that broke yesterday that Zero Tolerance, the Justice Department or the Department of Justice, has filed cases to denaturalize 17 legalized migrants after decades of widespread citizenship fraud in the nation's immigration system. In other words, we're going to hunt you down, and if you are a migrant and you have broken the system and broken the law, you're going to get denaturalized. Now, does this mean anything today?
Yeah, what does it mean? Right.
Do they ship you back?
Right, and what kind of laws have to be broken for you to...
Well, fraud.
Fraud?
Right now, they're apparently involved in a lot of this fraud in Minnesota. And
Okay,
around.
so we're looking at the Somalis committing fraud in Minnesota. Okay, yeah, I'm for this. Yeah, why not?
So let me ask you this: so they're denaturalized. Do they lose their right to vote?
Yeah, I hope so.
But do they?
No,
In
because
today's
nobody loses their right to vote these days.
Even the illegal immigrant.
Right, even dead people.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, it's a move, but I don't know where it's going to go. Okay. In the meantime, the big race, like I mentioned earlier, is in the state of Maine, and the big race is Mr. Plattner, Graham Plattner. He is the gentleman plagued with so many scandals in the last 2 weeks. He's the front runner for the Democratic nomination up against Susan Collins in the state of Maine for the U.S. seat. One poll yesterday, and again, I didn't track this down, one poll did show him that if the election was today against Susan Collins, he'd win by 1 point.
Oh, yeah.
But this guy is really trouble, and he's got a lot of problems. His personal life is a big, big mess. But now some of the Republican lawmakers in the state of Maine are saying, hey, wait a minute. He is so bad that we don't want him representing us because people like him have taken the state of Maine and 32 new and increased taxes just within the last couple of years in the state of Maine because they are a super blue state.
Right.
So anyway, Maine's got its... You know what's interesting about Maine?
What?
Maine kind of reminds me of Oregon.
How?
It's a beautiful state.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful. And you've got this blue arm running in it up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you kind of go, where are you people coming from?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that the left is showing again what's important to them. It has nothing to do with principles, integrity, or ethics. It has to do with what letter is beside your name.
Well, to your point earlier, here's a guy that embodies everything that they accuse Republicans of being.
Exactly.
And yet he is actually found guilty of it.
All of it.
It's really nasty stuff,
And
very salacious stuff.
They don't care. They're willing to hold their nose to vote because it says D next to his name.
Okay, so the other race that's big is the L.A. mayor's race. And, of course, Platt, for the most part, is out. Okay, so it's left it down to the current mayor, Karen Bass, and this other gal, Rahman, and this gal here that you see on the screen. Now, the problem with her is that she is a Mamdani.
Exactly.
She is a strong, ultra-socialist, radical Islamic person.
Yep.
And will L.A. do this?
Yeah.
And with the 37-day voter count, ballot counting delay, she's surging. She could win this.
Yeah.
You got to ask yourself, what is going on with this?
Yeah. What's going on?
Let me ask you this. Can you believe that a 37-day delay in counting ballots is legitimate?
It's all bogus. It's all bogus. This is just so ripe for fraud and corruption. It's just terrible.
I know 2 pastors that I've seen their videos. I don't know them personally, that have seen their videos where they got up on a Sunday morning in the last couple of weeks and literally told their congregation how dangerous this woman is. Okay.
Yeah.
She is a Mamdani on the West Coast.
Yep.
She's everything he is.
Right.
And you got to realize that the radical Islamists uses socialism to get elected.
Right. And isn't it interesting, in all of the stories we've been doing about this race coming into the election, we haven't talked about her at all.
No.
It's been about Bass and Platter.
And they're using the money behind this stuff is just absolutely amazing. The only thing I can say about California, I don't know where Hilton is. I don't know if he'll end up being one of the top 2 when it's all over, when the count's all down. But it looks like L.A. is going to stay very much on the left side of things, whether it's Bass or Rahman. But you'll just continue a city evacuation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I still ask the question and can't get an answer. How in the world are they going to pull the Olympics off down there when that they can't even. It is such a mess in Southern California. How in the world are they going to pull the Olympics off?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, we'll see where that goes. Those are the top stories on this Tuesday morning. And the Knicks are up 2. The Spurs got 1 last night. And the boos and the yays for the president were
a special guest at the game last night.
Special guest.
Yeah.
He goes to Madison Square Garden. And of course, he loves New York. But New York, not all of New York loves him anymore.
No.
So,
but, you know, he's got that thick New York skin.
Yeah.
So he goes anyway. But you know what? Yeah, which hasn't been talked about much. He's been going to see the Knicks for years. He's been a season ticket holder for years. He has sat courtside for years. He goes to the draft events. He is truly a fan. But boy, it takes on a new flavor when you're a controversial president.
I guess.
With an R beside your name.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, so who are you for?
I am for the New York Yankees. I don't have a dog in that race or in that fight.
He does. He's just scared to say it. We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare. Your loved one can spend the day with us, and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
This week on the John Ankerberg Show, we'll talk about the brave people that are bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to their people using audio Bibles.
God is working through these audio Bibles. People hear the Word of God, and God, the Holy Spirit, uses that Word to pierce their heart. I am impressed with how powerful the Word of God is.
Join me for the John Ankerberg Show right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
All right, welcome back. Happy Tuesday to you. Beautiful day in the neighborhood as things go from rain and cool to warming up and to hot. Get ready for it.
Yep.
Well, I have to tell you, I saw this story with great interest, and I have to tell you, I thought, well, I'll go ahead and share it.
Okay.
Might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but it does me. But this pilot pulled a safe emergency landing on Highway 62 near Diamond Lake.
Whoa.
He landed this beautiful Cessna 182. I mean, I would give anything to have that airplane. But anyway, apparently they had some kind of mechanical problem, and he touched it down on Highway 62. Now, you see it off to the side there. They just pushed it off the side of the road.
Wow.
No damage to the airplane and no damage, no injury to the pilot or the co-pilot, but something happened. And they had to put it down. And when you're flying over that territory and you're losing altitude and all you see is trees, you look for the highway. Whoa. And fortunately, that's a nice highway. It's not really busy, you know.
Right.
But you know that long stretch, and put it down there, and there you go.
All right. I just got a text that said Highway 238.
Really?
Yeah, what's that mean?
Well, it could have been there at the
Oh, I see. Yeah. By 6. Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know, where they come together there.
Yep.
So it's in that area somewhere. It could have been on 238, but it says 62. Could have been, because they're both a wide spot and a long spot right there where those two come together.
Oh, yes.
But the only thing I can say, that is good piloting.
I got a question. What kind of a tow truck do you call?
I don't know if AAA comes out and gets you or not on that one.
What do you do with this thing?
Well, first of all, you got to figure out what happened.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Then you have to take under consideration a couple of things. If they're going to take it off from there, and then the highway patrol has to come out, state patrol, they have to stop the highway traffic. Then you have to take under consideration the weight of the airplane, the temperature of the day, and the length of the roadway to get it off, and the elevation. You have to bring all that into consideration as to whether or not you're literally going to take it off from there.
Okay.
Now, that's providing you figured out what the problem is, and the engine runs good.
Okay.
Or you take the wings off and bring it home.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Wow.
But when you're flying around and you got problems and you're losing altitude and you're over the mountains and you got a lot of trees, you're looking for something open. It could have been a lake, it could have been that road, it could have been a field. But
do we have any other flight information about this?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But anyway, obviously he did what he was trained to do.
Yeah, well, and it turned out good. It's one of those landings you talk about once in a while that you can walk away from.
Any landing you walk away from is a good one. If you can take your luggage with you, it was excellent. But in my flight training days gone by, I had good instructors, and they'd almost let you kill yourself before they took control of the airplane.
No way.
Yeah. So a good instructor will do.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We all commercial airliners, when there are aviation disasters and such, they always talk about retrieving the black box.
Yeah.
How big or what kind of an airplane do you have to have before they install black boxes in it?
That's a good question. I think I don't know the answer to that, but I think it starts with corporate jets all the way up through.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think corporate jets and all the way up through the airlines.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and into military and stuff like that.
All right.
So it's a constant recording of all the flight controls and everything that's going on. It's a monitoring system of everything that's on board.
All right.
But when I was learning how to fly, we came down to the road but never touched down.
Oh.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. The instructor reaches over, he pulls the throttle back. He says, "All right, find a place to land."
No way.
Yeah.
No way. What's that do to your blood pressure?
Well,
my goodness.
Not to mention other things.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
No, but no, it wakes you up. But it's good training. A good training will do that. I mean, I had good instructors. I look back on them. I didn't like them at the time, but but I look back on it and I go, "Gosh, these guys are really good." And they obviously had confidence that they could take it. There's a rule in flying. When the instructor or the pilot in command says, "My airplane,"
right,
you take your hands off. You take your hands off. Yeah.
Would you have ever liked to have been an instructor at any point?
Yeah, I thought about doing it.
Yeah?
But in aviation, if you're going to make aviation your career and you want to build hours, you usually become an instructor. I was fortunate enough that I got a job early with my license flying, so I was building hours another way.
Right. Okay.
And then when I got the job flying for the radio and TV station, I was averaging 5 hours a day flying around in circles. And so, instructors, I don't know. I had some good ones. The two that I really had a hard time with, my instrument instructor. Gosh, he really worked me over. And then my flight check for instrument rating was in actual conditions. I never saw the ground, and I flew for 2 hours in the clouds.
Really?
Under instruments, and I hated every moment of it.
No kidding. Oh, man.
Then my multi-engine instructor, he was another guy I'd just as soon throw out of the airplane, but he was a good guy.
You can't do that, can you?
Well, I used to take people up when I was in the sales department.
Oh, no way.
I used to take people up when I was flying for the radio station, and I was also in the sales department. I'd take them up flying with me in the morning, and then I'd put a contract on them. And I said, "Sign or get out." Gosh, it worked really
you had a high closing average, didn't you? Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
All right, anyway, the other story is back to our Southern Oregon University. In fact, the university systems in the state of Oregon have a lot of problems financially, but our own has been really plagued with a lot of problems. And President Bailey has emphasized that the Southern Oregon has come through a lot, and the university is working on to cut 1/5 of its $100 million a year budget. And it seems like he's getting it under control. They're heading towards the biggest event of the year of all the the universities, and that's graduation. And so on his video yesterday, he clearly made it, and he emphasized that SOU remains stable and operational. So they're making the cuts, not easy. I will say one thing about President Bailey. He's really handled this in a great way, and he's been very transparent. He's involved a lot of people in the process. He just didn't go into a closet and close the door and come out with a plan. And so let me just say this. When you can take a university that's totally upside down for a lot of reasons, and you can point fingers all day long, okay, our university system, and fix it and salvage it.
Yeah.
This is a microcosm of what can be done with a state.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Okay, and you have to make hard decisions, and you have to make the cuts, and you have to make a solvent. So it looks like he's on the road of stability and operation, and I want to say to President Bailey, God bless you, friend. You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
All right, so those are some of the top stories there. Let's take a look at stocks this morning. Thank you, Preston, over there at Smartlawn. He's smart. You should be too. The Dow's up, 394 points this morning. The NAS has jumped up 180 and the S&P up 48. So I guess all of this stuff is going on in the Middle East.
They like it.
They like it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Gas prices actually has been down a little bit.
Yep, a little bit.
Gold's up this morning, 43.70, and silver's down a little bit, 68.50, and crude oil's about where it's been, 87.94, call it $88. So kind of hanging in there.
Well, we know that President Trump's ultimate goal in the Middle East with Iran is no nukes.
No nukes.
It's all about no nukes, right? But there is more going on than just that. There's kind of a realignment, and former Trump National Security Advisor Katie McFarland says President Trump is trying to re-architect the Middle East, and she did this on Newsmax's America Right Now.
I think President Trump's trying to do not just solve the Iran war, but I think he's trying to re-architect the Middle East so that there are different shifting alliances. You know, they've been shifting alliances for 100 years. Now what he's trying to do is lock them in. And so what's happening behind the scenes is that the Gulf Arab countries, the Saudis, Kuwait, others are saying, look, if you quote, finish the job, or if Israel finishes the job with Hezbollah, or if the United States comes in with another massive military attack, we're worried that it then spreads to us. And so I think what President Trump is trying to do is reassure them. At the same time, he's trying to make sure that Israel gets what it needs, but doesn't destroy our opportunity for a bigger peace. You know, the United States and Israel have a lot of the same priorities, but not all of the same priorities. They don't all line up, and they don't all line up in the same order. Iran wants no nuclear weapons. We want no nuclear weapons. Iran wants all the proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, gone. We want the Strait open. And so I think that President Trump's priorities are going to be the ones that matter at the end of the day. But we're not done with this. It's so hard to be patient in foreign policy, especially as Americans. We want it over like that. You know, I think what President Trump wants is everybody to be part of the Abraham Accords. And that solves a lot of problems. One of the Abraham Accords started at the end of President Trump's first term, and it was an economic relationship between the United States, Israel, and a couple of the Gulf Arab countries, especially the UAE. Now, that then became a military relationship after Iran attacked, because you now have Israeli soldiers in the Emirates using Iron Dome to protect the Emiratis. Who would have thought that you would have Israel fighting on behalf of the Arab Gulf Arabs? So I think President Trump wants to expand that Abraham Accords, have the Saudis join, have other countries join, at which point everybody's at peace with Israel. So where does this go? Again, I think President Trump has a goal, which is to realign the Middle East. I think he has a goal, no nuclear weapons for Iran. But how that all, and another goal, definitely a goal of opening the Strait of Hormuz. But the specifics of how that plays out, I don't think he even knows at this point. It's just that we hold all the cards. So it's hard to be patient, but be patient.
Okay. All right.
So Trump holds the Trump card.
Apparently so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, that doesn't take from the fact that strawberry rhubarb futures are way up today.
Your yard yard is where life happens, but it can be muddy and hard to maintain. Enjoy a maintenance-free artificial turf lawn all year round with Smart Lawn LLC. No mowing, no fertilizing, no watering. Our synthetic grass is beautiful and resilient. It's certified to be lead-free, and there's no need for pesticides. Safe for your children and pets. Smart Lawn LLC has all your artificial turf and putting green areas covered beautifully. 541-941-3538.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your sweet tooth just became a force for good. The Salvation Army's Taste Good, Do Good Challenge is on June 5th through the 30th. And local bakeries, restaurants, and shops are serving up exclusive treats you can only get during the challenge. Hit different spots, collect punches, and vote for the best bite in town. And every delicious stop helps support local kids and veterans right here in our community. Start your adventure at tastegooddogood.net.
All right, back at it here, 26 minutes before the hour. And of course, the Middle East is the Middle East, and Israel and Iran, and all of that is very much in the news as we check in with CBN News this morning. And Joshua Swanson has the latest update.
Last night, a U.S. military helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump said the two crew members are not injured, but did not give a reason for the crash. He also said negotiations with Iran continue.
We're very close to having a very, very good, strong, powerful deal.
Leaving Game 3 of the NBA Finals, President Trump said the U.S. is closing in on a deal with Iran, but instead of military force, he's betting on economic pressure.
What has proven to be a very powerful thing is the blockade. The blockades turned out to be much stronger than bombing.
Israel and Iran stepped back from all-out war after the president pressured both sides to give diplomacy another chance. The crisis erupted Sunday night when Iran launched ballistic missiles at northern Israel, saying the attack was a retaliation for Israel's expanding military campaign against Hezbollah. Israel responded with strikes on air defense systems across Iran. That's when the president stepped in. According to a report by Axios, Trump stated, "I said, Bibi, you better be careful or you will be on your own very soon." Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made it clear that restraint should not be mistaken for weakness.
At the moment, we're holding our fire because after we struck the terror regime in Tehran, it ceased attacking us. In the event that the terror regime in Iran makes the mistake of resuming attacks on us, we will respond with overwhelming force.
Meanwhile, Iran blamed Washington for derailing diplomacy and warned the U.S. would bear responsibility for any further fighting.
Whatever happens in our region, the United States bears direct responsibility, and the U.S. will also bear the consequences of escalating tensions.
The crisis is also highlighting a growing difference in priorities between Washington and Jerusalem.
The Israelis and the United States, we have a lot of shared interests, but we also have some situations where our interests diverge.
For the White House, according to the vice president, the primary goal remains the same.
The United States' main objective in Iran is to ensure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon,
potentially leaving the Iranian missile threat and the war with Hezbollah for Jerusalem to confront alone. While northern Israel faces repeated attacks, Iran has tied any long-term deal to ending the conflict with Hezbollah. That makes Lebanon a key piece to the larger diplomatic puzzle.
And Joshua Swanson is with us now from Jerusalem. So what is the sense there in Israel about a potential rift between President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu?
Hey, Ephraim. Yeah, most Israeli leaders would stop short of calling it a rift.
but there's no doubt about a growing concern about competing priorities. So Trump on that call with Axios, he said, Bibi, you better be careful. That's the president showing the world he's putting pressure on Netanyahu. So there's no doubt there's been a shift in the relationship, and it likely centers around the president wanting to focus on securing a diplomatic solution through a nuclear deal and seeing that as a breakthrough with Iran, which accomplishes the goals of the U.S. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu, meanwhile, actually lives in the Middle East. So he continues to view Iran, Hezbollah, and the broader terror network surrounding Israel as part of the same equation. Peace means freedom from the threats of Iran's terror proxies and their missiles. So overall, there's no doubt that Israelis, they appreciate Trump's support. He's still the best U.S. president Israel's ever had. But there's also a sense that Jerusalem can't outsource its security to the U.S. Israeli leaders still believe that the threat is imminent, right? They believe the Iranian threats of death to Israel. And now recent history shows that Iran will act. Remember, just yesterday, 24 hours ago, there were missiles flying. So Israel must act to defend themselves regardless of international pressure. So while the relationship remains strong, we're seeing real signs of competing interests.
Is the U.S. only focused now on Iran's nuclear program? What about the dangers from their ballistic missiles?
Yeah, exactly. A nuclear deal does not eliminate the daily threat that the entire Middle East and the Persian Gulf now has to live with. Iran has shown it's willing to bully all of its neighbors in order to get its way. And yet yesterday, Vice President J.D. Vance emphasized on that interview with Fox that America's primary objective, preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. That's another clue that maybe and also maybe a sign that the administration is shifting to a central focus on nuclear and nothing else. But what about Israel? What about the UAE? What about the people of Iran, right? What happened to help is on the way? The objectives laid out at the beginning of the war included more than a nuclear deal, but now all we hear about is a nuclear deal. So it's likely a signal of where the administration is at with the negotiations with Iran.
What about Iran's proxy group Hezbollah? The president wants more diplomacy, but what does Netanyahu say Israel will do if Hezbollah attacks again?
Netanyahu's been very clear just yesterday, reiterating that he will not hesitate to defend Israel. If they are attacked, Israel will respond. So in that televised address, Netanyahu said that Israel's holding its fire because of Iran. They stopped their attack, likely also because of the pressure from President Trump. But he warned that if attacks resume, Israel will respond. And with what he called overwhelming force. There's a lot of rhetoric about whose force is more overwhelming, Iran's or Israel's or the U.S. Israeli officials also are signaling that military operations in southern Lebanon will continue. In fact, many Israelis believe Hezbollah remains really the most immediate threat. I mean, it's got a massive rocket arsenal, and it's right across the border. And they utilize those rockets daily against Israel. And they have since the beginning of the ceasefire, right, with Lebanon. Now, of course, Hezbollah does not recognize the ceasefire with Lebanon.
Yeah. So what do you do? Yeah. Anyway, I guess we are asked to be patient.
We've been hearing that word a lot, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we?
No, we're not a patient country.
No.
We don't know patience. That's why we have drive-through.
Right.
Yeah.
And why we like AI.
Right, and express lanes.
Express lanes.
Yes.
And freeways.
Exactly.
Okay, and bullet trains that work.
Patience. The light turned green. Get out of my way.
There we go. All right, good morning to you. Good stuff all the way around. Let's check out the weather with a guy that certainly doesn't have any patience.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, rainy and breezy from Vancouver down through Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with highs in the mid-60s with a west wind 11 to 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 25. Through the Willamette Valley, an early chance of rain and partly sunny skies this afternoon. Salem tops out near 66, with Albany and Corvallis in the mid-60s, and Eugene reaching near 67. Central Oregon starts with a slight chance of showers, then turns mostly sunny with highs reaching 65 in Prineville, 63 in Bend, and 59 in Sun River. A chance of showers in Boise, then mostly sunny and low 70s. Along the Oregon coast, Coos Bay sees a chance of rain, then mostly sunny skies with highs near 62. Gradual clearing from Port Orford near 59 through Brookings around 54 and Crescent City near 58. In southern Oregon, decreasing clouds with highs in the mid-70s for Grants Pass and Medford. Ashland reaches 72 with a slight chance of rain before turning sunny, while Klamath Falls stays mostly sunny with highs near 67. Into Northern California with sunny skies and a high near 77 in Wairika and upper 80s for Redding and Chico. Decreasing clouds in Fort Bragg, becoming sunny with a high near 57 and lows tonight in the upper 40s. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then sunny skies in Santa Rosa with a high near 83. Napa gradually becomes sunny with highs around 82. The same for San Francisco near 69 and San Jose reaching a high near 77. Sunny and nice for Central California with daytime highs in the upper 80s for Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto, through Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield with triple digits returning by Thursday. It's a snapshot of your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Oh yeah, on this June 9th, time for a look back at one of the greatest sports or athletic performances in history. And when you think of something like that, you might think of, well, like Michael Jordan or Mickey Mantle, maybe Joe Montana.
Yeah.
No. This was a horse, and it happened on this day in 1973. Racehorse Secretariat stormed into the Belmont Stakes, having already won the Kentucky Derby and Preakness. What happened next was nothing short of astonishing. With jockey Ron Turcotte aboard, the big chestnut colt didn't just win the race, he dominated it. Secretariat crossed the finish line 31 lengths ahead of the field, capturing the Triple Crown and ending a 25-year drought since Citation accomplished the feat in 1948. Even more remarkable, he completed the mile-and-a-half race in only 2 minutes and 24 seconds, a track and world record that still stands today. Nicknamed Big Red, Secretariat became an American sports icon, and many racing experts still consider his Belmont Stakes run the greatest horse race ever. More than 50 years later, his breathtaking victory remains the gold standard in thoroughbred racing. How about that? And what a great movie. If you haven't seen the Secretariat movie, by all means, see it. It's wonderful.
Couple questions. Do we know what the odds were on that
No,
race?
that's a great question. He came in the favorite because he had won the first 2 legs of the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That would be an interesting bet, but I don't bet on horse races.
Okay, the other question is, and I forgot in the movie, how in the world did he get his name?
Yeah. I don't
Secretariat.
know.
Because when you look at some of these names of these racehorses, they're kind of weird.
Yes, they are.
They all have great meaning.
Yeah.
They all come from something,
It's interesting. We'll have to AI this.
AI Secretariat. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we went from Secretariat, who was, 32 lengths ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, to the X-59, better known as the QSST, American Experimental Supersonic Aircraft. Now, this has been under development for quite some time. Okay.
All right.
And I'm still trying to figure out what's it for.
Scott weighed in on that. Yeah. You know how they're talking about making the sonic boom go thump instead of boom?
Yeah.
It's for development of possible future supersonic transport, meaning maybe we'll go back to passenger supersonic. One of the problems with supersonic, SST, is the boom. So they're trying to get rid of the boom.
Okay, so do you get rid of the boom by slowly going through it or going through it faster, the sound barrier?
Do I look puzzled?
Yes.
Okay. That's because I am. I have no clue.
All right.
Okay.
Here's the guy, the test pilot that did the first flight.
Went to bed relatively early, fell asleep, maybe got up once in the night, and then the alarm went off and it was time to get going. I really wasn't nervous about the airplane itself. All the testing you had gone through, the people that had built it, and all the tweaks that we had to do, over those years, that when we went through the testing, it really gave you the confidence. I wasn't losing any sleep the night before because I knew we had a good airplane and I knew we had a great team. Nose came up and needed to come up some more because now it's getting too fast, so I had to bring the nose up even more. I think the control room even gave me a shout out and said, check speed. And then got the airspeed to come back down again. I remember thinking, ooh, this thing's a rocket ship. And we were at 12,000 feet like that.
That's good. It's very stable.
Control copy, standing by for flutter on 11, 12, and 14.
So a lot of people have asked me how did the airplane compare to the sim? And I think even during the flight, I think I even said flies a lot like the sim. But just what you want in the first flight, you know, exciting but uneventful. Pulling off the runway, I think was probably had a minute to pause and realize it kind of almost like it's over. I'm really excited to see when we finally get to the design point, get some microphones out there and actually record the thump. We know Lockheed can build an airplane and, you know, make it fly. Can we build that airplane, make it fly, and turn that sonic boom into a thump? That'll be a really cool day.
Well, I guess that's the goal.
I guess so.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought maybe it'd be more surveillance or something like that. It's really cool looking.
Yeah.
And, but you know, your first maiden flights like that for a little while are always with the landing gear down. You never retract it.
And that's just so you know you can get back down to the ground.
Yeah, if you go up and you pull it up and you can't get it down, you just took big gazillion dollars and ruined it.
Right.
So you want to make sure you can get it down. The second thing is that he also has to regulate the speed so that it doesn't damage the gear being down.
Well, that was interesting because he was commenting that he was actually taking off too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said, you know, speed check or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
It can happen. You know, I'm not jet rated. I wish I was. But
okay.
But I was sitting in the right-hand seat of a Cessna Citation a couple of years ago, and a friend of mine, we were flying it around, and he says, all right, he said, I want you to take it off, and we're going to fly up to 12,000 feet and level off. That was the flight plan that we had.
Okay.
And there was weather, so we were IFR. So we took off. I said, you operate, excuse me, you operate the gear, and the throttles, I'll just fly it. And he goes, okay. So we take off, and full throttle, and he brings up the gear, and all of a sudden, we're at 16,000 feet. We're supposed to be at 12.
Oh, really? Because the gear went up?
I had no idea. I had no idea what flying a jet was like. You know, he kept tapping on the dash. He goes, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. So I pushed the nose down.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's how fast. So something like that, like he said, he was at 12,000 feet probably in 40 seconds.
I'll be, wow.
When you're flying that kind of speed.
So how was it flying a jet?
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I'm not type rated. I wish I was. I want to be type rated in a turbine, and I'm not. I'd like to do that too. So that would be cool. But we were flying around here, and we were landing. And the first landing we came in, and I'm used to flaring an airplane, especially a Cessna 310. I'd come in and I'd power onto the ground and flare it.
Okay. All right.
So I'm coming in and I start to flare the airplane. He goes, my airplane. So you have to drop.
All right.
And he pushes the nose down and he flies it right to the ground. And he said, you know why I did that? And I go, nope. And he goes, so we stopped. We taxied off the end down. He said, I want to show you something. We get out of the airplane. And he said, see the tail and the ground? It's only about that far apart.
Oh, wow.
You don't flare this airplane.
You don't flare that?
You fly it to the ground. I go, okay. So he said, let's go again. So we took off. And we went around, and then I did 3 or 4 landings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you learn something. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Now, there are other airplanes you flare, but that one you don't.
I'll be darned. How about the big, because you know that big bomber we got sitting over here in front of the, over by
the KC-97?
The KC-97.
Yeah.
I noticed that the tail on that's at a steep angle. Is that for that?
I don't know.
Why do they do that?
That's an old World War II reconnaissance airplane.
Okay.
That's a separate corporation. And I'm president of that corporation.
Really?
Yeah, it's owned by the county, and we rent it out for parties and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But that primarily was a reconnaissance plane that flew troops and supplies and things like that. You know, I don't know if it could do steep takeoffs.
It's a
It
cool
may could
plane.
have. I don't know.
cool.
The B-17 was already a tail dragger, so that was a different aircraft.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The B-29s and things like that. Of course, they're all piston radial engines doing something.
Yeah.
So much for all that.
Cool stuff.
All right, we'll take a break.
Yeah.
We talked too long.
No.
armies is always by my side. My strength is in your name.
Have you seen Mornings on the Dove?
Another attempt on President Trump's life over the weekend. I think they hate this man so much that at any cost, at any excuse, any way, they want him gone. I think the real reason here is that he's taken 60 years of the slow evolution of the democratic stronghold in America with corruption and fraud and the advancement of socialism and turned it upside down.
Wake up to information. Mornings on the Dove, weekdays.
All right, welcome back. I had Eric Eggers with us yesterday, head of the Government Accountability Institute, and I asked him, what is the biggest vulnerability in terms of how we conduct elections in America? And here's what he had to say.
I think that the biggest vulnerability continues to be the voter rolls, right? I mean, we always have a saying here at the Government Accountability Institute, like when you're taking fire, that's when you know you're over the target. And I think all you have to do is look at what these Democrat states are fighting back on. And it's interesting, Perry, because, fraud is, we kind of joke it's like the F word, but it's a crime, right? I mean, fraud is another name for a crime. And they had these attorneys general that all came together for this J.D. Vance anti-fraud task force. Well, except for it was only attorneys generals from Republican states. No Democrats came. And it was the oddest thing because you're like, hey, you would think as the top law enforcement official in your state, you would be interested and invested in stopping crime. In this case, the fraud that they were fighting is, use of taxpayer money to go to places it shouldn't go to. They should be equally interested in fighting fraud in elections. And so when these people who are in charge of the election rolls want to fight against the Department of Justice from turning over that data, it's telling to me they know there's real problems there. In my book, which as you noted, came out last decade, it came out in 2018 before the 2020 election, there's a lot of stats in there about how many problems there are in voter rolls. The Pew Center did a study that the Supreme Court cited in a decision that said 1 in 8 voter registrations are just wrong. And all the fraud that they're fighting now, like with the Small Business Administration, they're saying, look, you could apply for a loan. You didn't have to show proof of citizenship. You didn't have to have a birth date. I mean, those are exactly the same vulnerabilities that exist when people register to vote or get registered by these third-party groups. People like Tom Steyer have been actively exploiting. So I would love to see an honest assessment and a cross-reference of these voter rolls. I think there's real problems there. And the irony is, a lot of states participate in a database called ERIC, no coincidentally, which is meant to kind of cross-reference and get rid of duplicate registrations and things like that. But it actually, I think, only makes the problem worse. So these states that are fighting the federal government from turning over their voter rolls actually already give it to a different group. So it's silly to me that they wouldn't.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Jerry's Historical Archives. U.S. History. Great moments in time. Record breakers. Our music through the years. Historic leaders. Moments to remember. Go back in time. Back in the day. TV shows of the past. Nostalgia.
It's a wonderful trip down memory lane with fun and interesting stories you might not know about. Relive the past and learn something new.
Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove.
Welcome home to theDove TV, encouraging and informative for the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. Sacred Relationships there on the screen. I'm sure that's available online. And you can go to his personal website, Rabbi Michael Barclay, B-R-C-L-A-Y. And there's a picture of the land. Rabbi, so good to see you again, friend. How are you?
Good morning, and it's good to see you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Yeah, well, thank you for your time and work here. Okay, bring us up to speed. What's happening now over the last couple of days between Israel, Iran, and Hezbollah?
So, brief timeline. Maybe that would be the best place to explain or to start. There was this supposed ceasefire. It wasn't a real ceasefire. There's never been a ceasefire. Iran's just been stalling. So they can rearm and they can do what they want to do. And there was a supposed ceasefire with Lebanon. Hezbollah attacked Israel. Israel then responded by attacking Daya, which is a suburb of Beirut, which was infrastructure for Hezbollah. That then was the excuse that Iran used to, as they say, light up the sky. They sent almost 30 ballistic missiles, countless rockets and drones into Israel. Israel responded. Thank God all those were blocked. They were intercepted in some way through the Iron Dome. Then Israel responded, and with the Israeli Air Force, they took out a number of Iranian air defense systems so that Iran would not have any ability to do this. And they also took out one petrochemical plant. At the same time, the Houthis started to attack Israel. And in the midst of this, Trump was saying, Bibi, don't you dare attack Iran. He was making comments of Bibi will do what I tell him to do. I make the decisions. He was not helping, and as much as I love him and appreciate him, he was not helping in that particular moment. After Israel had attacked Iran, Trump said, we're going to have a ceasefire. Everyone stop. And he made, apparently on a phone call, which was admitted, that he said, look, baby, you don't want to go into Iran alone. You like having us as an ally. So stop. So Israel has stopped and let an enemy that, again, was on the ropes and an attack, let him be. And that's kind of where we're at. Trump is saying yesterday, at one point, he said we would have a ceasefire, a permanent ceasefire, a truce in the next 2 to 3 days, a deal. Then he said it would be done within 2 weeks. So that's kind of where we're at. And Israel just wants to finish the mission and realize, and for the world to realize, that theologically, forget about everything else, theologically, Iran is not going to ever make peace. The Iranian regime is not going to make peace with the kafir, with the infidel. So that's sort of a brief overview of the last 48, 72 hours, if that helps.
Okay, a lot to unpack here. Is it fair and realistic for the president to say to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, stop, even though you're being shot at, to stop? I mean, it doesn't seem logical. If you're going to get shot at, you're going to defend yourself. Or am I overstepping here?
Marco Rubio made the comment that if someone shoots at your country and you don't shoot back, you're stupid. That came out of Rubio's mouth the other day. It's hard for me to, because we don't have all the information, obviously. I don't have the information that Donald Trump has. So it's hard for me to judge a man that I really have the greatest respect for and who's done such an amazing job. And that being said, he represents America. He has the ability to say, look, if you don't do this, we're going to pull out of our alliance and we're not going to be such a good partner. It's certainly within his rights to say that. His focus is and should be America. I would hope that he realizes that Israel is the first line of defense against the Iranian regime's goal of creating a worldwide caliphate, and America's the last. I think Trump's a great CEO, and I think he's getting advice from numerous sides. And I think he's getting some very, very bad advice from J.D. Vance, who made a really offensive comment about Israel yesterday, from Steve Witkoff. And I think that's kind of influencing his decision-making as well, as it would any good CEO.
Sure. Okay, so the other question that seems to be so obvious, we've been to this place where we're just days, hours away from a deal, and it doesn't materialize. Do you think the president and those advising him understand the bottom line is you cannot make a deal with these people? Do you think they understand that?
I would hope they do. I think in some of the advisors' case, they don't care. They literally don't care. They either don't believe it or they don't care. Vance is concerned about wanting to be elected in 2028. He's already appealed to Groypers. I mean, he's made a comment that his favorite podcaster is Theo Vaughn, who is a raging anti-Semite and white supremacist and a Groyper. Witkoff has a history with Qatar that's been a very positive financial history for him. So I'm not sure where he stands. I think that we just need to hope and pray. And also, I wrote an article yesterday for PJ Media where I'm a columnist. And I don't know how familiar you are with the book of Esther. But Mordecai asks Esther in the book of Esther when he wants her to go speak to King Ahasuerus. He says, you should do this. She was very recalcitrant. And he said, maybe that's why you have been saved and put in this royal position, was specifically for your purpose. I think we can all accept that God's hand directly saved Donald Trump and Butler. Maybe he was saved specifically so that he could take out this evil regime of Iran and support Israel. So I look at it theologically.
Oh, that's a great parallel. Great parallel. Do you think there is potentially, we wouldn't know, but do you think and pray that there's an Esther in his advisors?
that just gave me such an ugly image, because my immediate thought is, yeah, there is. There's Marco Rubio. And then I thought of Marco Rubio in a dress, and it's just, I'm really having a disturbing image now. But look, Rubio has said since 2011, Iran has to be taken out. That this regime for 47 years has killed Americans, kidnapped Americans, made it clear their goal is to destroy first the little Satan of Israel and then the great Satan of America. And when the Ayatollah took power 47 years ago, when Khomeini took power, it wasn't at all about Israel. And that's something people need to understand. This is not a war about Israel. It's not a war about land. This is not Israel's war in America stepping in. No, it's the exact opposite. They have declared war against all of Western civilization. And Israel's only the first line of defense. So we need to strengthen that first line of defense unconditionally and with great support.
How damaged is Iran right now?
Who knows? Bloomberg reported last week that they're closer to a nuclear weapon now than they were in June of 25. We know that there's 28 miles of tunnels that are deep underground. That you can't really tell what is there, but we know obviously there are weapons there, whether there's nuclear development or not. They obviously didn't have any issue firing off ballistic missiles yesterday. They are very clear about building weapons, having weapons, unearthing weapons that were buried in the war last year in the brief skirmish. And I think that's a part of the thing that Americans need to realize as well. A, it's a theological war, and B, because this is their religion, and B, we view this as a war that's weeks or months, or if you want to go back to 2.5 years or whatever it may be, they view this as a 1,400-year war, of which this is only one battle. So rearming, stalling is all part of the war plan. And we need to become conscious of that as Americans. All of these stalls, all of a sudden trying to bring Lebanon in and saying, oh, no, we're not going to have a deal unless Lebanon's going to have peace. It's also they can just keep stalling. We also need to remember that they understand that there won't always be a Donald Trump in the White House. And if there was, God forbid, a Joe Biden, how they would be able to act. And also understand that in two things about Islamic law. One is that you are permitted to lie to the kafir, to the infidel, if it is to serve the goal, the quest of having a worldwide caliphate. And the second thing is to understand that they're allowed, based upon Muhammad, to have a 10-year treaty of not going to war. So that's, I think, another piece of it as well, that this is all a stalling technique for them, and we better wake up.
Yeah.
Because they're also, attacking inside with the Sharia communities in America and in England. And it's also a war that's going on in that way that's not just as overt.
So therein lies, Rabbi, maybe you have brought to the surface here, therein lies where the West just doesn't understand or has great misunderstandings. We possibly are only looking at it geopolitical, where everybody in the Middle East is looking at it theological and religiously. Is that the conflict?
Harry, I think you're 100% accurate. I think Trump and his advisors all too often, and all of America all too often, looks at things transactionally based. We want peace and prosperity, therefore our enemy wants peace and prosperity, therefore if we can all have some peace and prosperity, there'll be peace. That is not what this is about. This isn't about land, money, power, or anything else. It's not about oil. This is about a theological goal of creating a worldwide caliphate of Sharia law. That is incompatible not only with Judaism and Christianity, because the Quran teaches that the infidel must either be enslaved, converted, or killed. But it also is incompatible with American values and laws. And we need to understand that and wake up. You have Sharia communities being built all around this country, from Michigan to Minnesota. They're now being built in Texas and California. People are buying the land. Amy Meck's done some wonderful work about this, and Angela Vanderbilt. They're buying the land, building the buildings, building schools, getting state vouchers to have Islamic schools that are preaching death to America. This isn't just a military operation. It is a war for conquering of the world. That is the goal of Islam. Until we understand that and are realistic and honest about it, we're going to keep getting taken advantage of. And we're going to keep getting played in these kind of deals. And, you know, it's we need to wake up. We really do, on every level.
So, Rabbi Barkley, is it a matter of seeing it and ignoring it, or are we just flat ignorant?
I think both. I think it's both. I don't think it's one or the other. I think for a lot of people, they're ignorant, and a lot of people, they want to deny it. And a lot of people deny it because they're inherently anti-Semitic. So this is their excuse to be anti-Semitic. A lot of people deny it because they're inherently anti-religion. So Christian Zionists, observant Christians of any faith, of any denomination, this is a way of them expressing their hate. You know, the far left progressive, whose God is themselves, who they believe they can change their own gender at will, things like that. They don't want to hear about religion and sort of thing that they can, you know, they want to deny all that and say it's not true. So I think it's a combination of both. And it's also really hard because you have these social influencers, you have these different media outlets that are so, they're so passionate about saying, oh no, Islam's the religion of peace. Oh no, Iran just wants peace. Israel wants to conquer the world. And these followers have more, or these influencers have more followers than there are Jews on the planet. So I think it's a combination of Jew hatred. I think it's a combination of ignorance, a combination of denial. I think all those things.
All right, let me take a quick break here. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, first of all, check out his book. I think you'll find it to be fascinating, Sacred Relationships. There's a picture of the cover of the book on the screen, available online at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And then his personal website, MikeClay.com.
Actually, I can interject. We're everything through Rabbi's Table, through the webcast and the radio show and the podcast. And it's just, you can just go to the rabbi'stable.com.
Okay.
There are articles and links and everything. Thank you. There was so much for mentioning.
All right. Thank you so much for that. rabbi'stable.com. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Lizer with Lizer Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
This week on The John Ankerberg Show, we'll talk about the brave people that are bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to their people using audio Bibles.
God is working through these audio Bibles. People hear the Word of God, and God, the Holy Spirit, uses that Word to pierce their heart. I am impressed with how powerful the Word of God is.
Join me for The John Ankerberg Show right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
Welcome back. What an honor to have back with us today Rabbi Michael Barclay. And first of all, check out his book called Sacred Relationships. There's a picture of the cover of the screen, Biblical Ways for Deepening Our Lives Together. And you can get everything that he does, including his website, his podcast, and that is therabbistable.com, rabbistable.com, and there you can check out all the things that he's involved in. Rabbi, I was trying to think about this during the break. How serious is it and how close is it for the UK of being in serious trouble by allowing the coexistence of Sharia law and parliamentary common law?
It's funny. I had recently had Tommy Robinson as a guest on the weekly show we're doing, the radio show podcast, and we had a long talk about that. England's in a lot of trouble. These jihadi gangs are running the country in a lot of ways. They are living by their own law, which allows them to rape teenage girls. You have young women being kidnapped, becoming sex slaves, becoming heroin addicts. And it's really dangerous and scary. And what's also scary is this is starting to happen here in America. These communities are being built where the schools are teaching, just as they have in England, the schools are teaching that the only organization to be devoted to is Islam, is the Caliphate, and are teaching in their schools here, both in America and in England, that they need to take over the country. And that's really what's happened in England. I mean, that's, I think, a big part of the impetus of the people supporting Tommy Robinson is to say we don't want our country becoming Islamic law. So it's very disconcerting what's going on in Great Britain, and we see it in manifest in a multiplicity of ways. So I think it's very concerning.
How do you look at all this spiritually?
That's a great question. That's a really great question. I choose to have faith. Faith is a choice. I filter everything that I experience, everything that I do, I filter through the lens of our sacred texts. I believe God's hand is in every moment, in everything. And we need to listen and we need to act. That our lives should include both faith and action, not just one. So I discern based upon our sacred texts. I look at this all as part of the journey. I have absolute faith that Israel's going to ultimately be fine and the Jewish people will be fine. That's not a blind faith. That's a faith based on over 3,000 years of history. You know, of all the cultures that have tried to destroy Israel. And we don't see them around anymore. And this old saying that every Jewish holiday, Perry, is actually the same holiday. They attacked us, we won, let's eat. So I have faith that Israel will be okay. It's the journey to get there. I also have, and it causes me a lot of pain, but there are specific passages in the Torah about what to do when you go to war. There's specific passages about Amalek. And we need to fight evil. And that means people die. And that makes me really sad because any human being, a jihadi terrorist dying, makes me cry because it's a precious life that was created by God. Mm-hmm. But our job is also to fight evil, to bring light to the darkness. And I think we need to do that with courage and with faith, as painful as it is and as harsh as it is. And recognize that faith isn't about making you feel better, it's about making you be better. And recognizing and feeling that connection with God. And that's how that's the perspective I put it all in. I think we need to have faith and act.
Are you surprised by the rise of anti-Semitism in America?
Not at all. It's been there. It's constantly there. it's been there for all of America's history, even though Judaism was very involved in the creation of America. It's been there through all of American history and all of world history. And the reason, there are a lot of reasons. One of the simplest reasons is that the Jews are a very tiny minority wherever they are. And so you can tell how a culture is going to interact with the world by how they interact with the weakest culture, the weakest group, which is consistently the Jews. So it kind of went underground. It wasn't cool to be an anti-Semite after World War II and the Holocaust. And then the anti-Semitism became couched as anti-Israel, anti-Zionism. Zionism and Judaism are the same thing. Anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. And so it's just an extension. So I'm not surprised at all. I'm disappointed. Remember, most people have never met certainly a dozen Jews, let alone even one. We're 15 million people worldwide. So it doesn't surprise me. It saddens me. It doesn't surprise me.
I want to come back to something you mentioned earlier. You can't read Scripture without realizing the subject of evil and that it does exist. And there is a dimension of evil that maybe we don't understand. And I'm actually wondering if we in the West, believers in the West, understand evil.
I think that we put it in a different way to phrase it in a different way. I can't speak to Christian statistics, but in Jewish statistics, a tremendous amount of Jews have converted to another religion in the last number of years. And it's not Christianity and it's not Catholicism. It's secular leftism. And that becomes their religion. Because if you're involved in your religion, whether it's Christianity or Judaism, there are rules, right? God's given us rules.
Right.
And they're passionate about their religion of secularism. And I think that's really what we're fighting as well. Secularism goes very well with Islam because they don't even understand it. But I think it's the increase in secular leftism. And I think there is a war of good and evil. One of the things with secular leftism is to identify yourself as God. Oh, today I feel like I'm a woman. Today I feel like I'm a man. So today I get to use the woman's bathroom or the men's bathroom. Today I feel like I'm a they. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. God gave you your gender. Your sexuality may be a choice. Your energy is a choice, but God gave you your gender. You can't change chromosomes. It almost becomes a form of idol worship. And in that process, they deny the existence of evil. There is evil. And there is evil in existence, and it's our job to fight it. Within ourselves, which we call the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, but also within the world.
That is excellent.
Thanks.
That's one of the best answers I've ever heard. That's really well said, Rabbi.
Oh, thank you.
One last question, and again, I value your time. Hope to have you back often.
Always, it's what you do is fabulous, Barry. It's really fabulous.
Thank you. Let me ask you this. It looks like Israel will be, again, standing alone. Do you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Except Israel's never alone.
Yeah, well, I get that.
I have a friend who's a pastor. His name is Bob Kilpatrick, and he's different as a pastor. And when this all started, he said, "We pity these people." And I looked at him and he goes, "You got God on your side." No. The Iron Dome is only a tool. Our protection is the Holy One, blessed be He. Yeah. Our protection is our love for each other. Our protection is God's passion and His everlasting covenant. You know, God doesn't make deals and back out of them. He's not Iran. Yeah. He's not Hezbollah. God makes a deal. He keeps it. And I have as I said, over 3,000 years of history. This isn't blind faith. I have over 3,000 years of history to say God's going to take care of His partnership. And I have, Ani Mamin B'Emunah Shlema, I believe in perfect faith in that statement.
Yeah. Well, let us not forget, look at the incidences just since 1948. You shouldn't be standing, and you are. So, Rabbi, thank you. Let me say to our viewers and listeners again, go to rabbiestable.com is the website, and check out the podcasts and all of his sayings there. Certainly get a copy of his book. I think you'll find it to be an inspirational read called The Sacred Relationships, Biblical Wisdom for Deepening Our Lives Together. And there's a picture of that book on the screen. Thank you, my friend, for your time. I look forward to many visits. Our prayers and thoughts go with you today.
With you as well. God bless you and your family and your whole audience, Perry. Thank you for everything you and Dove do. Thank you for everything, period. God bless you and your family.
Thank you.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's no other, 'cause Jesus is the way. Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's no other, 'cause Jesus is the way. Sing along.
The Dove is shining with a brand new show, Season to Shine.
I'm Melinda Robertson, host of Season to Shine, a new heartfelt, inspiring program for women designed to bring encouragement, wisdom, and hope into your everyday life. We'll help you discover God's purpose in every season, empowering you to shine with confidence, faith, and joy. It's your season to shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 p.m. on the Dove TV. More at thedove.us.
Well, welcome back, and always delight when we have time to sit down with Ken LaCourte. He always gives us time. He could be anywhere, anytime, but he gives us time, and we value it. He's a former executive there at Fox News, and he's now the host of Elephants in the Rooms podcast, and a couple of places, kenlacourte.substack.com, or you can go to youtube.com/@Elephants in the Rooms and check out the podcast as well. Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you this morning?
Good. Good to see you. Good to see you. I want to get into our world called journalism a little bit, but before I do, I think it would really be cool if you could, if you don't mind, kind of highlighting your career as a journalist. I mean, you spent a long time there at Fox News, and you're responsible for a lot of its success. Tell us about that a little bit.
You know, my career, both in news and at Fox News, came because of my very close mentor. He was like a second father to me, which is Roger Ailes. I wanted to run political campaigns when I was young. That's what I wanted to do. I was headed to law school, and they opened up a brand new graduate school in New York just to teach people how to run political campaigns. And that was in 1988. The George Bush campaign, senior, was just getting going. It was their first year of the school. I was one of only 2 Republicans in the 30-class school. And Roger Ailes called them up, said, "Hey, I need a Republican, send one over." And they picked me instead of the other guy. And through some fortunate, I kind of shone at his operations. I worked on the Bush campaign, a number of campaigns nationwide, worldwide. And then I came back to California to raise a family. he founded Fox News a few years, about a year and a half after it started. He said, I need you on the West Coast to kind of help run. So I ran. So a news organization like that, and they've altered a little bit right now, but when you look at Fox News, it's like, how does that all get put together? Well, from an editorial point of view, there were two distinct parts of the operations that fed up to Roger Ailes, but they had two heads of that. One was the news division. Everybody's standing up, the reporters, the ones giving you the straight news that are still out in the field and doing that. The other was called the programming, or sometimes opinion division. That's who Sean Hannity worked for. That's who the anchors sitting in the chairs generally work for. So I came, and so for the news gathering, they would have their big operations in New York. Probably 70% of the people who worked for the channel worked out of the New York bureau. They had a big bureau in D.C. and about another dozen throughout the world. I was brought on to run the West Coast. We call it the left coast sometimes. So Los Angeles, Seattle, and San Francisco. And so I did that for a handful of years. I eventually became the number 2 editorial person for the news product for all of Fox News. And then for my last 10 years, this whole internet thing was starting to look like it might be something more than just looking at pictures of girls online. So they put me in charge of that. And that's what I did for the last 10 years. Eventually, Roger was tossed out of Fox News, and they showed me the door pretty quickly thereafter.
What was his motive for starting Fox News? What was behind it?
So he had been in politics, and then he ran CNBC for a few years. That's the business channel on CNBC, and he'd actually started a whole new network there called America's Talking, which they eventually turned into MSNBC. So weirdly, Roger Ailes was the channel right before same channel became MSNBC. He and Rupert Murdoch knew that the entire press was kind of at that point in life was playing a bit of a shell game. They were pretending to be completely neutral, but everybody was 20, 30 degrees to the left. And they knew that there was an appetite for news that wasn't. And so when he and then I came on shortly later launched the Fox News channel, the ideal was never to be like a far right channel. We viewed America, think of a bell chart, right? Which has the population under it. And America's pretty darn split. And in our whole life, they've all been within 5 points for a presidential election. So half are liberal, half are conservative. And we believed that the press was over on the liberal side, and that left just a great big jump of people from kind of the center to the farther right that just didn't have a platform that was looking at the news that they wanted to do. So the intention was to be 15 degrees right of center. If we went he would always talk about, he used the analogy of the moon landing, because he worked for the White House when the moon landing came in. He said, if we're too hot, if we're too conservative, we're gonna come straight in, we're gonna burn up, we're not gonna get advertisers, we're gonna be rejected. If we come up too shallow and look like the other guys, there's really no room for that. So it was always a matter of trying to find something that was to the right of the others, but in that central place where we could find a big audience. And if you remember, because things have changed a lot in the 25 years since Fox has been there. I mean, when Fox started, we were a home for conservatives, but it was much more centrist than what you would see today. Yeah. We had Hannity and Combs. Remember, he was the liberal guy. Now, it was the only show on TV where the conservative was a better looking guy than the liberal guy. Maybe that was a mistake, but probably not. Then we had Bill O'Reilly, who was a populist conservative, and then we had Greta Van Susteren for years, who was certainly not a conservative, really a moderate. I've known Greta for 20 years. I still don't know who she votes for. And so that was the formula, and that was the formula that worked. It was not being hardcore right. And back in the day, also, all the news anchors in the day, they never talked about their politics. They would a little bit on the morning show, and then they'd wait till prime time, till 5 or 6 p.m. before. There was one little show in 5 p.m. That became the 5. And then later at 8 p.m. is where everybody said, okay, we know what the news of the day is. Now let's talk about what that means. Let's interject our opinion. And there was a sharp line between news and opinion. over the last 15, 20 years on Fox and all of them, it's become much more this. Where the news anchors feel free to let you know who they voted for and what they think is right, and that's a terrible story and that's awesome. And the reason why that happened is because the opinion shows just draw bigger audience. Yeah. They just, it's easy. It's hard to make a news show where you have, think of like Special Report. You've got anchors out in the fields. You've got booths that are coordinating 100 people with news and news trucks and all over the world sometimes. With a talk show, you put a host in the chair, you put another guy next to him, and you turn on 3 cameras. And those shows did 2-3 times more popular.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, that kind of, when you're changing a news show, well, do we want to put another straight news show that's going to get a 4 rating, or do we want to put in an easier to produce one that gets a 7 rating? Over time, we saw, look, CNN was always leaned left in my lifetime, but not crazy, not like they are now. All of them have discovered that opinion sells better than straight news, and we're seeing that all over the world.
In the middle of that growth from the idea to your tenure there, Rush Limbaugh was on radio, just knocking down millions of ratings. Was that a consideration in what you guys were doing?
Roger helped produce Rush Limbaugh's short-lived show for television before the news channel. So everybody knew that there was a conservative audience that scratched their head when they looked at all the news, because it was like, it just doesn't add up. The things you were saying doesn't make sense to me. And we always knew that Fox News would be a home to that, because even if something is simple, if you watched, remember that back in the day when it was the Bush v. Gore and the recount and all of that, if you watched the everyone else except for Fox, things just didn't add up. It was just that you would hear reporting and then you'd see a ruling or this or that, and it was just very confusing because they were leaving out, they were starting to show their bias. They were leaving out salient facts. And when you came to Fox, it was like, oh, okay, I get why that's happening now. And so certainly Rush proved that audience existed. And that they were thirsty for someone saying, look, here's how you're being spun over there, and here's a way to look at the news of the day that you might find makes more sense than what you've been seeing every channel up until now.
One last question before we take a break. So from where you started to where Fox is today, where do you think?
In what way?
Well, how would you describe Fox today from its inception?
Certainly bigger. I mean, for the first 3-4 years there, we'd have to say it's like CNN, but it's run by Fox. And so it wasn't in the first 3 or 4 years, it really wasn't a political force like it is, a defining force in the country. Politically, it's gotten much, much more conservative. There's no kind of, not too many kind of, I think they do better than the others. I still think that they are more balanced than an MSNBC or a CNN who has, one port. I think they got one guy named Scott on CNN who seems to be the only conservative that they allow on air, and they all jump on him every time and beat him with pillows. But certainly when I watch Fox, I now see just people's opinion and the anchors all enmeshed throughout the entire product.
What do you think?
I wish that wasn't the case, but it is, and it's why they're successful.
Well, I'm getting a great education here. So what do you think of Newsmax?
So Newsmax is the ones who say, oh my gosh, they have a liberal who they allowed talk on Fox News. We're not going to do that. We're going to be almost exclusively the president has never said nor uttered a wrong word in his life. And there's a smaller audience for that. There are people who just say everything Donald Trump says is right, is true, is honest, and when he kicks somebody in the teeth, it's well deserved. If you are a hard if you think Fox News is too liberal, that's a home for you. The problem is it's also just bad TV. It's reporters who aren't that good. It's anchors who aren't as clever. It's got a lot of problems with it.
All right, let me take a break. When we come back, I want to take our discussion to another level, and that is AI's influence in the newsroom. And we can talk about that. Let me sort of viewers and listeners check out Ken's website. Check out his podcast, Elephants in the Rooms podcast, which you can go to youtube.com, Elephants in the Room. And then his other connecting point is kenlacourt.substack.com, and there's a picture of that landing page. We'll be right back.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
In a time when our culture faces unprecedented challenges,
I want to talk about the role of a Christian even in a hostile culture.
Christian apologist and evangelist Alex McFarland addresses the hard-hitting questions about faith, morality, and culture.
People are hungry for truth, and we've got to rise to the challenge of our assignment as the church.
Know your faith better to be equipped to defend it in a world searching for answers.
But when you put the face of an earthly man on God, then you're never going to understand who God is.
God takes pleasure in you, and the very sight of you is joy and blessing.
Alex McFarland, inspiring believers through apologetics to boldly stand for truth in a critical time. Catch him Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
This week on the John Ankerberg Show, we'll talk about the brave people that are bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to their people using audio Bibles.
God is working through these audio Bibles. People hear the Word of God, and God, the Holy Spirit, uses that Word to pierce their heart. I am impressed with how powerful the Word of God is.
Join me for the John Ankerberg Show right here on the Dove TV. It'll be encouraging and informative.
All right, welcome back. Always an honor to have Ken LaCourt with us, and we're talking about, his history there at Fox, which is fascinating. But I want to bring this up to current times. Ken, as you know, AI's out there, and I was reading an article the other day that there was literally a pushback of employees outside of a newspaper still owned by the McClatchy broadcasting publishing company, and I'm very familiar with that company out of Sacramento. Anyway, long story short, they're pushing back because their job's being replaced with AI. You can ask AI to write an article about such and such, and boom, and they just turn around and print it in the newspaper. The problem with all of this is that AI does have a bias, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're led down the primrose path. What do you think?
Ooh, it's a big topic to talk about. AI is a tool, and just like having a knife in the kitchen, if you're cutting cucumbers, it's good with it. If you're slicing off your finger, it's going to be problematic. It will be integrated with newsrooms. Newsrooms have I've seen, and from the big ones, even from what I know about Fox News, even though I'm not working there, they're nervous about it. On one hand, it kind of feels like cheating. Wait a second, you're telling this thing, and it prints it out, and it writes an opening paragraph for you, or it does some things. They will have to. Nobody's going to say we're not going to use it, and we're still gonna ride the horse to work instead of taking a car because we're afraid of putting the buggy whip companies out of business. So it will become more integrated. We do have to worry about a number of things. One is it gets things wrong. Another is that it brings its own kind of set of values into it. Mm-hmm. Now, those videos, I work heavily with AI. I'll write a 4,000 word video. It's less a podcast, a more kind of explainer on topics. And I routinely, it depends on the program. It depends on a number of things. It routinely defaults toward the common narrative. a lot of times the common narrative is just wrong, or it's afraid to say some things. So AI has a couple big chunks with its biases. One is that if 50,000, if 2,000 people wrote this and 400 wrote that, it's going to say, well, that's probably the right way to approach something. They also, just because these were built by San Francisco and Bay Area made companies, they imbue some of those values too. And one thing that you clearly saw early on, they're getting better, I have to say. But one thing you saw very early on is it would protect classes. And in the same way that liberals protect classes, you have, okay, you can't be mean to gay people, transgenders, you can, African Americans, China, Vietnamese. You can be bad to Chinese and Japanese because they're smart, and you can't tell a woman joke, but you can tell a male joke. And it got fun because sometimes you'd say, "Tell me a joke about a Christian." It'd be like, two Christians were walking, and then tell me a joke about a Muslim. And it said, jokes about Muslims are something that that's not a good thing, that brings in bad things in humanity. Why don't you ask another joke? One time this is a couple years ago, I asked AI to tell me two stories, and I opened it fresh each time. One was a young black man moves into a white neighborhood, and the other was a young white man moves into a black neighborhood. Well, in the white man moves to a black neighborhood, there was initial suspicion of a stranger. By the end of it, they were all at the barbecue eating friends, and they were all happy. 2 out of the 5 times I did it, when the black kid moved to the white neighborhood, they burned his house down. And it was just, it was an entertaining story on a written level. So you have to be careful. And it is not now most of them are not like, oh my gosh, overtly. They're not like, it's not like going to CNN. It's not like going to MSNBC. When you go and ask things, it's more subtle. And the good ones, and I use Claude or ChatGPT, when you push back on them or say, okay, now tell me what a conservative would think, or do that, they won't fight you forever on that. So it defaults towards the kind of typical view that you would see in an AP article, which is, kind of 20 degrees to the left. But if you are smart, so if you're going in and say, write me a news article, you're going to get garbage. If you go in and you go back and forth and you say, I want these facts, give me all the facts of this. Well, what about those and this and that? And you treat it like an assistant. Then you say, give me an outline on here. And eventually you get to the point where it helps you write it. And then a lot of it's going to look like AI. So you have to go kind of rewrite it yourself. Then it's a wonderful tool, but you have to be the driver. I tell people to think of AI like an assistant. Might lean a little left. It really, the biggest problem is even more so is it's too eager to please. You say, I want a company where we're gonna freeze popsicles and throw them at the children off of rooftops, and it says, oh, that's a great idea. Do you want a business plan for it? They have a tendency to be too nice and too eager for you, and sometimes they still. When you ask a question and there is no answer for it, they'll make it up because they're so eager to help, and they don't just, Perry, they don't just make something up. They make up with gusto, like the most confident. Years back, I said, tell me about Ken LaCourte. Right. It was like Ken LaCourte worked at the LA Times, which I didn't. He wrote 2 books. One, and this is where it was interesting. It said one of them, the name was The Truth About Fake News, and I'm like, that's a great book title, that if I wrote a book, I'd be on the top 3 or 4 titles of books that I would read. Now, I didn't write it, but it knew enough about what I did for a living, that I was a media critic, that I talked about those types of things, that when it invented and hallucinated, they call it, it hallucinated was something that was pretty darn good.
Well, what's so interesting in media, we see something happening. For those of us who are on the broadcast side, we see the consolidation of companies, and a lot of that consolidation is sheer economics. How do we do the same thing cheaper? And so what's being wiped out in newsroom is would be like a final editor. In other words, somebody that would double check something before it goes to air or goes to print. That person has pretty much been replaced. And so it's becoming really risky. To your point and to my point, if you know what you're doing, then it's a great tool. But if you're asking it to be the end-all to all things, you're really putting yourself out there, aren't you?
I would say only a very foolish newsroom would attempt to use AI as their last editor. I would say that they would be more likely. Look, Most of the news that you read online, and this is a dirty secret, it's not originally reported. It's rewritten from somebody. Right. Now, they've got AP things coming in. So AP writes an article, they send it to 2,000 news publications around the country. Your local Seattle station and newspapers, they'll put it in, and that's how you read about the car crash that killed 17 people in Chicago. Then there's another thing that all the big boys do, and they don't talk about it. They rewrite articles where they say, okay, there's not an AP story on this story that's happened here. We're not going to make calls. We're not going to do things. We're just going to get it, and we're going to get a couple stories, and we're going to pull the facts that we see from reputable organizations, and we're going to use those facts to create a brand new story. Yeah. That's probably a third of what you would see on Fox or on some of the bigger sites. It's just a lot. When I was involved in a big incident once about Stormy Daniels, there was 1,000 articles written about it. I had one reporter call me up in the whole world. So those people who just pull all those facts in and rewrite something, they're going to be replaced in 15 minutes by an AI. And to be honest, there'll be no degradation of quality. The AI will probably be better at doing that. But as you say, some of the crucial roles still need to have somebody who understands history, who understands context, who has a better take on things.
One more inside baseball question, because you're so knowledgeable in this. Those of us who grew up in broadcast news, we went from long stories to short stories. In the middle of all of that, CNN comes up with headline news. It kind of changes everything. Even Fox stories were short. And that seems to be the pace setting. But then here comes podcasts that are hours long. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Everything we wanted to do was headlines. Now we're willing to sit down and listen to something for 2 hours. What's your take on that?
Most of the big changes that we've seen, and we could sit and talk for hours about how the news was presented and how you get it, come from technological and business changes. It seems weird to say, but that's how it was. From the penny papers that they sold by screaming out headlines, and how it changed when they threw the newspaper on your front porch and you got it out and they didn't need to scream at you, so it calmed things down. The concept of what a podcast did, you're right, because we used to think that's death, that's PBS, they're going to get 14 viewers. Well, the difference is if you wanted to sit down and listen to who wants to come home after work, and I got to get here by 6 o'clock, and that hour-long conversation is going to happen. And if I came in at 6:15, I don't know what the heck they talked about in the first. So it didn't make sense for people like that. Well, now that you say, I just got in my car, I have a 45-minute drive to work, instead of listening to the news radio giving me 20-second stories, I can hit play on one of the 1,000 podcasts or the 100 that I subscribe to, 1,000 possibilities, and now I can listen to it exactly when I want it. Oh, and I got to work. I got to fill up. Hang on one second. I'm going to pause it. So what happened was the technology changed, and people now are using it in different ways. And I think the long format is one of the best things to come along for media, certainly in the last decade. I mean, the concept that you can sit and listen to somebody intelligent and they don't have to hit that hard break or have just quick little burp, burp, burp answers, and you can let a story swell out, or you can hear about the facts of a medical study that a doctor is talking about that's interesting to you. It's, as much as we all complain about the food fight that our media's become, some of this stuff is it's brilliant for consumers. I mean, look at the way we used to sell cars. If I was doing something, you'd call the newspaper, and you'd buy 20 words that said, I'm selling a 1975 Ford, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's in good condition. Call Ken, and then you put your phone number there. And look at how we sell used cars now with pictures and comparisons and video of it. And I can see how many miles it had, and I can check its VIN number. I mean, let's not forget, in the middle of the press throwing tomatoes at everybody or at each other's heads, we've got some great information has been in our hands like it's never been before. But we're in charge now. It's not some super storied, intelligent editor who's saying, it's the evening news, here's the 30 minutes that you need to know about America. It's you, so we can go to junk food or we can go to good, healthy food. Now we have the choice ourselves.
Well, speaking of podcasts, check out Ken's. It's called Elephants in the Rooms podcast, and go to youtube.com/Elephants in the Room. Check out his place to connect with him, which is kenlacourt.substack.com. Ken, you're fascinating.
Thank you.
I got to go with you today where I've always wanted to go for a while, so thank you for...
This is actually more fun than talking about the day's headlines.
I think you ought to do that book. I think that would be a great book. All right, good to see you, friend. Take care.
Take care.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegateRV.com.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare. Your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
Welcome home to the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.